Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, of course, though, we have to do a couple of housekeeping things. The first one being is there will be no show next week for either this or Lancer, because myself and Rival, who's in the Lancer game, are away. And Mordred as well is also going to be away for a portion of that. So we are AOL, and therefore we will not have shows. So sorry about that. So you'll see us in 2 weeks. Also, as a heads up, we are heading not only to the end times in the storyline, as was revealed last week, but we are heading to the end times of our yearly calendar. And if you haven't been here before with the Component Cast, you will. It'll be news to you that we do like to take some time off over the holidays. Also, schedules get a bit funny, so we will be heading into our end times in terms of calendar. People will be everywhere, so broadcasts might get a bit less frequent. Therefore, it is imperative that you make sure you follow us on social medias and join our Discord if you want to be in the loop for when we're going live more directly than say, oh, there's a Twitch alert, they've gone live. It's just really recommended for the end of the year, for the end of the season stuff, because things get a bit wonky around this time, you know? That's just how things kind of go. Other than that, the only thing I can also say is a reminder that we have multiple ways that you can support the show, should you wish to do so. One of those things could be as simple as going on Totally Not's Twitter and retweeting and also whatever the fuck it is in the going live
still
tweet.
Call it a retweet.
It's still called a retweet.
No, they're called a repost now, I think. Actually,
Are they?
It's a retweet.
Yeah, I think it's a retweet.
No, but you just made that my favorite joke now, where its new name is I can't believe it's not Twitter.
I can't believe it's not Twitter.
What? Not Twitter.
You go ahead and share that we're live. That's the best way you can support us. But if you want to support us monetarily, the best ways to do that is becoming a Twitch sub or becoming one of our patrons. Patrons is the best, is where we get the biggest cut of the pie, and it allows us to create awesome stuff such as the shows, all the artwork you see, other awesome things like soundtracks and handouts and stuff. I totally forgot to post that handout to Patreon last week. I've been busy. Apologies. I'll make sure that happens though. But yeah, other than that, please check us out wherever you'd like to catch things up. And if you prefer a podcast format, well, guess what? There's also a podcast format now that's available wherever you get podcasts. I believe there's even video podcast available. So if you don't like Twitch and you want to watch us live-ish, video podcast might be the way for you to go. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with tonight's broadcast, shall we?
Oh well.
So, hello everybody, and welcome back. I'm going to do the recap this time because we've had some funny weeks in the last couple of times, but last session was a pretty massive one in terms of revelations, and we mean that in the biblical sense. Because there are two major points of what's happened right now. And that is both parties, or should we say Team Eladrin and Team Rien, have both managed to convince the Emperor that they're schmoozing with to come to talks, which is fine. But it also was revealed that you may or may not be fated to exist in this world's apocalypse, and that revelation happened. Another seal was broken right before two of our party members' eyes, or so they theorize. And a few out of the party visited the Gourd tree, or will do when we finally get to do that scene. It was a bit of a funny week last week, but we also explored the prophecy of St. Agnes of Ivy, who was the doomsayer who prophesied about the end times in a dream. And it was curious enough that some of the situations that appeared in the apocalypse sounded an awful lot like things that happened to you guys. So whether that's coincidence or the end times are upon you, we shall see. But we're going to kick off by heading over to the furthest in the future still, which is our lovely friends in Legerung's land. Zep, we joined you and whomsoever you want assembled, packing and loading the ship for your journey towards Crystalhaven, back to your home city. Just you're doing your final checks, that kind of thing before takeoff. Is there anything else you wanted to do in Reshin before you leave?
I don't think so, no.
And I take it, Kettle, you've gone back on board just to double check? Kettle?
I'm sorry, I totally lost the call.
Okay.
Just a second.
I said, I'm just double checking. You made it back on board. You are trying to continue.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
You led back on board under guard.
That is...
Or did you escape again after that? Okay, Zep doesn't know. This is fine.
Yeah, let's go with that. That works.
Okay. But you made your way back on board, and the ship takes off once more. It is but a half day's journey for you to get to Crystalhaven from where you are, especially with the express like sort of what's it called? It's you've got the wind behind you as it's a normal trade route. Plus, there's the magical tethers that tie the normal skyship lines together, allow you to take some of the pressure off your ship a little bit, and you get there within a half day. And you arrive at these. You obviously have contacted ahead of time, and you make it to the Skyspan shipyards. There.
Good. Then we have arrived.
Yeah, you've arrived.
Welcome to my home, or the better part of it anyway.
All right. Trying to think. I don't think Kettle's doing anything.
Zep,
like,
just
major.
make me a quick perception check.
Okay. How does the system work again?
You roll dice.
Yeah.
To tell you if you succeeded or not.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure that I did not. That is a 6.
Okay. It wasn't a very high DC for you, but it's just there's a lot of ships in dry dock right now.
It is wartime. This is not really a surprise. But yeah, I should go and say hello to my family, of course. Make sure that any trade work is being done, and also secure the artisans that I need for my grand plan of upgrading the ship.
As these are all skyships, aren't they all technically dry docks?
They're not all skyships here. The Skyspan shipyard started as a standard shipyard. But it'd be quite funny if you had to make a skyship in the water.
I mean,
In my head, I was kind of imagining that, and then I was like, hang on, no, that wouldn't work.
I feel like that would probably be the best way, no? Because, like, the planks that you're building a skyship with, they ain't floating.
I was gonna
So
say you can't make it in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Why
would still
can't-
be a
You've got
It would still-
crystals that are levitating the thing.
Okay, but you
there
gotta
would still
attach
be a
everything
ship.
to the
There's still
crystals
shipyards.
first.
There's still shipyards that they build stuff on before they slide it into the water.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
all of the planks are being levitating concurrently. Do they have their own individual little
Scaffolding.
crystals?
No, that's called scaffolding. Funny enough, you can get scaffolding that goes on the land.
Wait, what?
Anyway, we digress.
You know that we're both friends with Utari.
Exactly. It's his job.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyway, sure. Which members of your family are you looking for directly? Specifically.
Flight, I would think.
Going for your uncle Flight. He's actually at the dockyard overseeing some construction right now. So he's not hard to find. You don't have to go to the estate proper. He's actually working. Actually a big proponent of your family. Is like you've got a lovely estate, but they don't actually spend much time there because they're normally working. And you see them at a looking over another person you recognize, as they are someone that used to work relatively closely with you. It's a lady by the name of Josephine Dreyfus. She's currently at what looks to be like a design table with. She's a human. You would know she was one of the aeronauts, like aeronautical engineers, that works for your family. And then Flight is standing on like a bar stool, so he's her height to look over her shoulder while she works, kind of thing.
I will go over and see if I can not so subtly see what it is that they are working on.
Give me an artifice check as you try to quickly read these plans. I think that's probably the easiest way to do perceptions while it's more the
25.
understanding of the equations and stuff. It seems like they're looking at this is why do I even ask? It seems to be plans for lightweight armor plating to go on the inside of the ships, rather than like the ironclad method that has been used for most of the sky ships. They're looking for looking at reinforcing the interiors. So this could be something that could be used to up armor existing ships without putting too much extra weight on the existing. And it's looking to be mainly lower armor, because don't often get broadsided in a sky ship in the current scenario. There's a lot of bottom armor though required.
That makes sense. Yeah, reinforcing the interior so that you can take fire from below. I'm a little surprised I had not considered this myself.
Yeah. And they're going over that system, and as you say that, they both kind of look, because they've been just like completely zeroed in on the plans, and they look, it's like that. Oh, hello. And
they probably have to turn and then look up, because Zep's on his little hoverboard is actually like hovering just above them, so he's looking over their shoulders.
Mm-hmm. So it's a human sitting on a stool, a gnome standing on a bar stool, and a gnome on a hoverboard, like chained, like looking at this documentation. So it's okay. And the flight is, Zep, it's wonderful to see you. I didn't think I'd see you so soon.
I did send messages ahead to say that we'd be arriving, but
is that today?
Skyship is pretty quick.
It
is.
I'm losing track of everything. There's a lot going on right now. But no, pleasure to see you, my boy. Guess.
And you as well.
What news? Anything? Just it's a pleasure. Josephine, let's take a break. and he kind of goes away from the table, hops down from the stool. What is it I can do for you, Shep?
Just wanted to report in and say that I am still alive and well. The ship has been handling very well. I have a couple of thoughts that may help our own shipbuilding here, and it has occurred to me that I probably owe a couple of guild dues as well.
Well, okay. I would let me double. I'll have. Do you have a calculation of roughly how much you think you owe? If not, I can have an accountant take a look.
Not on me. You would need to speak to my accountant as well.
Let's have my people talk to your people.
Exactly. This is the way it should work.
Of course, share your ideas. As you can see, we are heavily into production. There is the Duke is looking for to raise another force. Now that so much of our units are on constant patrol, protecting the shipping lanes, etc., and with one advanced force helping defend the shores, it wants to make sure that there is more protection for incursions of various means, considering the those draconic attacks that happened recently.
Something that's just occurred to me looking at those plans, but if attacks are always coming from beneath, maybe we should have some magical wards on the bottom side, especially if we're up against those magic spell cannon.
Yeah, it's something we're going to look into, but because of the mass production and scarcity of materials already, we're trying to do this as mechanically as possible for the time being. At least for this. Yes. But you said you had some ideas of your own you wanted to go over?
Yeah, so I have been working on a few designs for turreted cannons on a ship that can then rotate in any direction, and if aimed upwards would arc down and shoot like a mortar. I would like use of one of the dry docks for a couple of days so that this can be built on my ship, and we can, of course, share the plans of that if you wish to use them.
I'm sure that we can arrange for some dock time. I have a crew that is about to finish on this monitor ship up here. He points you to a much smaller vessel. It looks like it would be like a 10-man crew vessel. Honestly, it's probably one of the smallest skyships that your family's company has ever created. It's not something you've seen. This is a relatively new thing. But yeah, there's a crew there that could help probably be transferred over.
I would appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to ask is there's a young man that has just started, or will be starting soon, at the Institute of Artifice in Rashin by the name of Pascal. He has been something of an apprentice to me, and I think he has great potential. He is definitely one to watch.
Okay, I will make notes. I mean, any apprentice of yours is it's a hot prospect.
We actually rescued him when his own pedal-powered skyship was in a little bit of distress.
Pedal-powered skyship?
Yeah, precisely.
I'm surprised the thing even worked. He kind of scratches his very wiry hair and do you know what? Let me show you something.
Of course.
And he takes you to an area you know would be for R&D. And he walks you to... Oh, hello. We have a Shane. He walks you over to an area. It's another one of the warehouses, like off of the dockyards, but specifically. And he takes you over to an area where there is you see another engineer that you're probably familiar with, actually. It's a guy known as Richard Grassel. He's the guy who tends to implement, because your family's company don't work directly in armaments normally. They normally buy them in, but he's the person who normally works in fitting and that kind of thing. And he's like poring over a table with ammunition on it.
Okay.
Grassel, please, and he turns around to his, you see the individual, he's kind of like, he's a brunette man, very stocky face, but very, like, thin body. And he's got, like, a sort of leather, like, apron on, and he's got, like, kind of like a, what's it called, a magnifying glass, but it's on, like, a retractable, detachable, sort of like over the ear, like spectacle thing. So it like clips onto the side of his spectacles.
Somewhat similar to Zep's own goggles, then.
It's more like, have you ever just like one of those, almost like a mic boom arm, sort of like.
Okay.
So it's kind of like.
So actually, even more intricate because his literally just lenses he puts in front.
Yeah. No. This is more like it goes up and down, like an American post box like arm thing that tells you they've posted it. His goes up and down and just it's more visor like, I suppose. And he looks up. Shep. It has been a while. I don't know not why he is French, but he is French now, even though he has a German name.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, yes, we're about to do a weapons test if you would like to see it.
I would be very interested, of course.
And you see, it's kind of like the wheel in like one of the standard military use cannons. That's normally on board ships, etc., and skyships for that matter. He loads in one of these cannonballs, and just make a quick perception check for me.
That is a 7.
Okay. Anyway, and they load this cannon. Kettle, would you have come with, by the way?
I don't know. That would be up to Zep.
Even if not, would you have come surreptitiously?
Oh, if I wasn't invited?
You wouldn't have been directly invited, but you also wouldn't have been chased away.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Give me a perception check as well.
Cool.
Hey, look, it's worth the check.
20.
Okay. You see that the cannonballs that seem to be loaded into these weapons, or the ammunition at the very least, it looks to be like a solid object, but then there's like a brass set of bands around the center, and what looks to be like a crack.
Interesting. So Kettle just thinks it's a broken cannon, but she has no technical knowledge. Like, don't have it. What's the hard times must be tough. Using broken cannonballs.
And then Richard just turns around. She starts handing out ear protectors to people. He puts it on and says, Ein, zwei, drei, and boom. The cannonball fires, and then you see the two halves of the ball like slow slightly, like they're catching the friction of the air, and then it splits. And between it, you see a net. And then the cannibals continue, and then they like magnetically rejoin on the other side, closing the net.
Interesting.
And it's a big net.
I would think so if it was fired from a cannon.
Yes. Yeah, this is
It's a cool fantasy weapon. The only thing I can think of in my brain is just like, oh, in real life, that would totally just kill the shit out of whatever you were trying to capture. Like that would not split at all. That would just be two sides going through with your target.
Well, if it kills,
What you've effectively launched at them is a really complicated cheese grater.
Yes,
it's chain shot.
Yes, it is, because it's not rope netting either. But yeah, this is
The saw weapon.
That opening from Ghost Ship.
That is such a good. Oh, rest of the movie, that opening shot. Oh, chef's
I could
kiss,
track
so
who's
good.
seen that movie by faces alone in this chat.
Yeah, and yeah, this is we are experimenting with ammunition types for aerial defense, as well as the land-based warfare that we are accustomed to dealing with.
I have been developing some devices of my own for a similar purpose, but instead of going for a larger catchment area, I've tried to increase the velocity of the rounds themselves so that the sheer impact can go through whatever defenses they may have.
Yeah.
I would be happy to share with you what I've been working on.
Weapons. My favorite type of weapons.
Yes, so you've gone railgun. They've gone.
Stable what?
I'm trying to think, but you can tell I've played D&D a little bit myself because do you know what? It's something that I hadn't thought of when I mentally designed these, but I always intend that they would be metal wire, which means you could cast heat metal on them. Oh dear Lord. Yeah,
It's canon now. You can't walk that back.
Heck yeah, it's canon.
Yeah, it is a cannon.
Yeah, heck yeah, it's canon.
Canon.
Canonically canon.
Oh God.
Well, that actually brings me to a thing. If you are putting cannon onto your ship, it would be good if you could take a few rounds to infield test.
I would be happy to, of course.
Hopefully you don't have to infield test, but should the opportunity arise.
I am suspecting that our enemies will be dragons, so anything that we can use against them would be of use.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure that a few get loaded on.
And I will share my own designs. We will be here for a few days, I think, while we get some upgrades done.
Sure. And you go about that. You've also received multiple pieces of information from your party. Just as an extra note in this 7 days. Party, what information have you been telling Zep?
Everything?
Yeah.
Probably omitting the apocalypse bit.
I mean,
What
part of the
day
problem-
is it compared to what the Ascension of the King?
that was the issue that I had, because I have had messages coming through, but I never know when they are in the timeline, and I suspect most of it is later.
No, because you're the furthest ahead. You
right.
You
you'd
have
have already heard
all
that.
the
Okay.
information. Yeah.
That's true.
Then you would have gotten the message from Breton that a seal has been broken by being repaired, because that's how that works, and that it was used in the granting of powers to the Emperor of the Rien to effectively turn him into an avatar of the gods.
You will have heard that I guess the Avatar of the Gods. No, but I didn't know that bit. You will have heard that the Rien
So
is
Breton
planning
didn't
on
say that bit to
using
you
a
all.
weapon of mass destruction to commit genocide on the elves through the plague
That's a while ago. I think
You know that one.
he knew that one.
He knew that one already.
Anything Eladrin
Actually,
related?
no, he didn't, because Zep was not there for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
We told Zep about that.
I think you told me that there was a disease, but not that it was going to be weaponized. And it's
Yeah.
probably a very good thing that Zep was not there for that meeting with the Emperor.
Yeah. Valymr would have like. It would be pretty. I mean, if it was Valymr that was sending the message, it would be pretty clear that he's very against this. And he would also have told Zep as well, or James would, about the meeting and to try and organize the meeting with Ichabod to bring him to the whole meeting of everyone with the both the emperors. Let's call it the second summit or something like that.
Cool. I'm just making notes of all of these. And at some point, I think I would also have gotten something from James about design.
Yeah, I had sent a drawing over. I guess I would have mailed that out at some point, probably around the Winter's Ball, or a little bit before that, while I was doing some research. Yeah, that's mid. You should have that. Yeah,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Chat and yeah.
Yeah. You
Because
can
that
have-
would probably...
Yeah, that can have arrived as well while you were in Wretchin.
Okay.
Look at us playing with time zones, time frames, and future and past.
Yeah,
So-
we would have revealed all the stuff that would have happened from our conversation with Eladrin the Immortal as far as getting Ichabod, and that he's not ending his side of things. So that's going to make it so that the Rienne doesn't end their side of things. So we need to get them seated as quickly as possible.
Yeah, basically what the main piece of information that's come through is if you guys can make a talk happen, all the leaders of the world are open to talking it out, but the war ain't gonna stop while that happens. But they're also not gonna go out of their way to prevent you from doing so, because the Rienne know that they're kind of up against it right now, and they don't want to have to go to drastic means. They also have suspicions about the end times. Eladrin the Immortal doesn't want to have to go to it, but he also has suspicions against the end times and thinks he's on a... Basically, everyone thinks they're on their own timer right now, is kind of the issue. That's why they can't stop, even if you guys are right, if that makes sense.
Cool.
Okay. So, final upgrades for your ship at the Skyspan shipyards. Skyspan. Are going to probably set you... It depends. Are you just upgrading the cannon and the arc?
The cannon and the turrets,
Yeah.
so that they're rotatable at least 180.
Yeah.
You've got... And I would like to have some kind of system where the cannon can shoot down, but I really don't know how I would do that yet. It's probably more angle up so that they shoot down like an long-range artillery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're railguns. They're going to have a massive range anyway.
Yeah.
Pop out the bottom of the lowest deck and put a cannon just aimed down.
Well, my initial thoughts of how you could do it will depend on where you're mounting them. But you were going front back though, right?
Yeah.
See, if you had them side mounted each and do them 180 left, right, so they can technically both point front, both point back. You could. Have,
you know
you
what?
could have them out on a structure and then have that structure have the ability to tilt down.
Like the old World War One.
A while ago.
Yeah, the World War One ships had those.
Yeah, or essentially like casemate ball turrets.
You know what? Screw it. Let's do that.
Casemate ball turrets. Okay. Sure.
We're gonna need landing gear because that's one of the problems with the ball turret.
But they're not on the bottom. They're on the
They're on the
top.
sides.
They're on the side. It's
well, that's not a ball turret.
it is a clone dropship is what this is turning into.
Okay.
Where they have the winged ball turrets.
See no problem with this.
I do.
Let's see where the clones who got shot any number of times.
We've got more protection than they did.
Against.
Got more plot armor.
I don't
than
know.
They do.
We are using.
Yeah, that I'll go with.
We are using fantasy chain shot against dragons, so I think we're okay.
Are you?
With mental cast on it.
And I would definitely be interested in any other like innovations that have happened while we've been gone,
Haven't been
and
huge-
be willing to share ours.
There haven't been any huge innovations, as like, for example, because it's only been about a month and a half since you left.
Yeah.
2 months at this point since you left the last time. So there hasn't been like, we haven't discovered like a new fuel or like anything. But like there are things that are being worked on. For example, like the lighter armor for the interior. To up armor older vessels. Like for example, there is that smaller ship. Think of it as like a sky caravel. It's like a 20-man crew, sort of light. It's speedy. It goes faster than a lot of the other ships that you've seen. Because I'm going to go a little bit amorphous here because kind of this is a couple of days in which you're constructing and. Doing these kind of things.
Before we go further, is there anything else that anyone in the party wants to do with the ship? Because here's the chance.
Raise the sailing height.
Reduces the number of decks we have.
At least maybe of like the upper deck or something. Give them a little more height.
It's a bit more than a minor modification.
Zep just wonders why does it hang out on the top deck?
Probably hasn't really occurred to him, but yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, because he's always in his office.
Yeah.
Maybe a lead line room.
Well, actually, yes, that was another thing I wanted to do was upgrade the vault to actually be a vault.
Oh, you want to?
We
put
were
these
also
bolts in.
talking about hiring a wizard to permanently put a teleportation circle sequence in.
Would that work if it's mobile?
It's an object.
The wood doesn't move.
Yeah.
If Midge will allow it.
If
sure.
the surface the teleportation circle is on doesn't move, then technically, like for example, because it doesn't work.
I think
like
that works.
I don't think it works because that's the way that like.
It's a sequence.
I can tell you this, just easy way to think of it. It's like a cell phone. Doesn't matter where the cell phone is, the number doesn't change.
Yeah, it's because you're dialing to the sequence rather than the location.
It's like
Yeah. This isn't Stargate where like the sequence is retrospective of where it is in space.
You're putting a permanent GPS pin that it doesn't matter where that pin goes, you could always go to it.
Yeah.
that is a good point. That is entirely a security risk because there's no way to block.
Correct.
Basically,
Like,
Mitch just said
lead
it's
line room.
okay, so let's not argue with that because like we want it. He said it's okay.
No,
let's go
it's
then.
getting into. You do have to keep it secure. Obviously, we can't just let people know the sequence. Otherwise, anybody can come onto the ship if they want to. That's
It
the
should be
other,
Skyspire
risk.
only.
Yep. So the only person who will know is our close friends, the party, and a wizard that is easily bought.
No.
No.
Then what you
mean the one that's
do?
going to take a
So yeah, which
long nap in dirt?
which one of you is gonna kill the wizard when he's done making this?
No. What we do is we pull a Stargate on it and we put an iris on it, so that if anybody tries to teleport when the iris is closed, it doesn't work.
We can't keep making Stargate references. It's not that popular of a show. People will
I
move
don't
on.
care, Roach. I'll do it,
I
and you
get
can't
it too.
stop me.
I
It's
get it
enough for
too.
me.
You know,
This is one of the few references I'm getting, so keep going.
Yeah, I'm just this wizard the entire time is a bald guy in glasses, and every time he finishes drawing a symbol, he goes Chevron 1 encoded.
Walter?
Except that is spawned over a year of work, so it's like every month he goes Chevron 2 encoded.
No, nobody who actually goes to the ship also has to scream that as they're casting the spell. It's part of the casting.
Yeah.
Right.
As
To be
a
fair,
verbal
teleportation
component.
circle does take a minute to cast, though.
Yeah, shutting
How
We
did
gotta, do we have decks large enough to for the vortex to not hit and disintegrate
Well,
the top?
we aim it
above
up on the top deck.
Oh, top deck. Okay, so that can be
A
used
lot
in
of
effective
things going
weapons.
on this top deck now, I will say.
Somebody is giving up a bedroom on the top deck for this. That's happening now.
Well,
Or
there's
bedroom?
no vortex, I don't think. But I was saying is, shouldn't we put it in a secure room that can't be destroyed from a fire on top deck, like something inside central part but easily defended?
I mean,
Darius would suggest.
No,
if
put
he
it
was
right in the
here.
reactor room.
No, that's a good point. The lead line room was probably the best for it because lead should not interrupt a teleportation sequence. And if you essentially just turn that into the war room, like, works out.
That, or we could just reinforce a room and then put like a metal door and like banded walls around it, and then it's just like the only thing getting out of there is like something that's going to destroy the ship, in which it wouldn't matter anyways.
Also, it's going to be a case of how many wizards do you want to hire, because obviously it takes one wizard 1 year, but if we multiply the amount of wizards, it can make it go faster.
Remember, the more people that know about
365
this,
wizards.
The more blood James gets, right? The more people that know about it.
The more blood James gets, fucking hell. The more organs that make it to transplant list is just what I'm hearing.
if we do 4, that's not too like, it depends on, because we're
3
never going to
months.
get it done before. Yeah, we're never going to get it done before we have the meeting or anything like that. So there's going to be somebody on the ship that isn't a part of this whole freaking plan from the beginning if we do this. So that's something we need to be mindful of.
Make sure that they're okay with being locked in a room for an entire year. They're only given their food and water and bathroom as they're needed, and that's they just get to stay in the room. They don't get to go anywhere else.
I just
Very
had a
strict
thought.
contract.
Yeah.
Why can't you buy teleportation circles? Like, if it's just a sequence, it's not tied to a single location, you could just put it on a plank and then move the plank.
Why?
It's a big.
Well, I mean,
It is a big circle.
you
They're
could
defined.
theoretically, you could
They're 10 foot
could
by 10 foot
theoretically-
circles, but yes, you technically can. And Wretched might be the one place that you could, but then again, there is someone who knows that circle.
There's
Oh,
like a
my-
burner phone though, so we buy like 4, and we just.
Harps of teleportation.
Just imagine like a teleportation
the
circle
real
in
answer-
like a burner phone packet. Like, you know, the plastic wrap. You just fucking...
Oh, like the really shitty plastic that cuts your hand whenever
Yeah.
you like.
The real answer is why you don't just do those disposably is because it's really fucking expensive.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah, I know. A full sequence would be like 50
stupidly
grand.
rich.
Oh,
It
yeah.
costs like 15,000 gold to do it.
Well, we probably have the money for it, so it's up to you guys.
Captain?
And also, if the ship gets destroyed, it's gone.
18,000 gold, sorry.
I just say we clear out a room. Darius isn't living on the ship anymore, and
Then, yeah,
Neither
I'm-
is
Darcy.
I'm going to say let's put it on a plank that can then be moved. So if we ever don't want it on the ship, we can just stick that circle face up against
Throw
a
it
wall.
over the side. No. When we know it's been compromised, right? We put it and hang it dispensing over a volcano. So there's just
No,
like,
no.
Bitch, you
I'm-
made a
that's-
call, and now
that's-
I am just imagining a ping pong table with a teleportation circle on it, so just
That's what I'm
stick it in
saying,
the middle
like,
and put it away.
there's your
Like
idea.
Some old gym teacher just fucking let's get the teleport circles out, everybody. It's a rainy
get it
day. We're meant
described-
to be out on the sports field doing the 100 meters, but no, today we're playing fucking teleportation ping pong. Let's go. Yeah, cool.
Get
No,
it
I'm
inscribed on a solid base, and when we need to go to it, have it set up. When we don't need it, just turn it upside down.
Exactly.
Dude, somebody's gonna. It's gonna be that episode of Star Trek where somebody just like. Just in, yeah, just in, like in the floor.
That way, no one can teleport to the ship
Morph
unless
into the
they have the
floor.
right of way. And we have a connection to Marcus to say, Marcus, turn it over.
Yeah.
True.
unless we
No,
don't.
I'm game. I'm game for this. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. You do have a lot of money though, so
Do we think that this is a good investment?
For
It would make-
teleportation circle?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
The teleportation circle, yes. The shenanigans, no.
I'm just waiting for the guy who gets flied by like teleporting while you guys have it flipped.
All right, our sequence has been compromised. Put it over the ocean.
Have you ever considered that anytime you teleport, you actually die and it's a copy that's
Stop.
actually taken?
Just quiet.
That'd be the easiest way to clone 9th level characters. Like,
Well, only if
Okay.
there's like an ionic atmosphere that bounces the teleportation, like, signal back and a copy, and then you have Thomas Riker, and that's just getting into.
See,
So
I
it
don't
comes
know
back
the
in-
Star Trek references, so this is just all over my head.
That's
Moving things forward, yes, we will get someone to start working on a teleportation thing, which is movable
okay,
somehow.
how fast a time frame are you looking for?
Let's do 4 people. How much would that cost?
So yeah, let me do some calc because
We don't need to do it now. We can just say that it's in progress because
Yeah.
we will work it out.
Sure. I will say your family will have enough contacts that you can find a wizard contracting company for this. It's going to be pricey, though, to hire for at least, what is this? You need a 5th level spell, so that's 7th level wizards? 8th level? 7th level wizards? Yeah, so you're going to be hiring 4 7th level wizards for a number of months for the contract work, and then the actual materials for no. Just looked over at Discord and got the image. Fuck you, Roach. That's exactly what I was thinking.
The other thing I would like is a small squad of Warforged Marines, so that we have a better
ODSTs.
trained defense.
No, these are Spartans.
Warforged
They are without the
Marines.
dramatic.
Were you trying
know.
to hire like mercenary ones, or were you
Like-
looking for
Ex-army types, yes.
some mercenaries? Okay. You'll have to give me a bit of
Yeah.
an investigation
Lance
check on that one
Connects?
around.
That the theme?
Yes. That's legit what their clothing is half the time for the Warforged.
Cool.
What's it called? The Star Legion they'll wear red and black.
I think I'll
like Lance Connect.
flash of genius that, so 22.
Okay. You also, just as a reminder, because of what we discussed last time, on one of the days while you're here, the group of Warforged from
Eisenfaust.
Yes, Eisenfaust and his group join you. So interesting about Eisenfaust is he has a mechanical leg. So it's a Warforged who's lost a leg and has it has an amputated leg and now has a magical mechanical leg. It's an arcanical leg as a what's it called? A prosthetic.
Interesting.
But he has a bit of a hobble because of it, because it is slightly too short for him, and the springs are a little bit like dodge.
I could probably fix that for him.
Also, it seems perceptively. But yeah, you see, and he is a blue crystalled Warforged. He's got about 7 others with him, who look to be. Give me a history check. This will be utilizing your time in the military.
Okay,
So-
and I will totally ask Eisenfaust if he has any recommendations for old retired army buddies who might be looking for work.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh, come on! What
Oh,
is
no,
my
no, sorry,
rolling
this-
today?
This is an advantage. This is an advantage because this is relying on your military background.
Good. Oh, come on!
It's doing the same roll. 2
I
threes.
don't know how many times I've seen this happen over the past week. It's insane.
I haven't
Also,
rolled
it's
higher than a
Zep, which is
6. I've rolled
so
6
weird.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So weird for Zep.
Yeah, these guys, to be fair, look like. I mean, you know that they're really Legoran's land military, but these guys don't look like your average Star Legion, even though that they, or at least they were at one point. But these guys look a little bit veteran, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Zep has his idea of who or what they might be.
Dishonorably discharged, like mercs that are.
Well, and you know that these are being sent to the Rien for extra protection work. So, and he goes, Eisenfaust kind of leans into you, and Eisenfaust he's got that sort of, it's like a he's a steel-looking warforge, and then he's got this clockwork bronze brass leg, and then like he's also got like a gouge in his face metal as well, but he kind of leans into you and he's like, yeah, how many men are you looking for?
A squad for just the protection of the ship. It has been taken before, and I do not want this to happen again.
I know just the men. Give me 24 hours.
Done. Is there anything else you and your own people here will require while you are training us?
No. Your discretion is all we ask for.
Of course, I understand.
And there's also like, you hear like as he steps as well, there's like a whirring of like clockwork when he moves the leg. It's like.
I can probably fix that for you so it is a little more balanced.
I've gotten used to it.
If it works, don't fix. I understand this as
Really
well.
not spoken about like an engineer. If it works but it's not broke, or if it's fixed but it doesn't. If I can word today, it means it doesn't have enough features.
I mean, I could upgrade it for sure, but that is not what we were asking.
They never sent me the free watch that came with it.
I could probably make that too.
Okay. Around the next day after, about I think it's 5. Eisenfaust introduces you to 5 individuals that look just as grizzled as the group that's with him, but less put together. It's like, imagine, but you could quite clearly see that this is kind of the sort of people that Eisenfaust's group would be, just on if they were on downtime.
Yeah. And I'll make sure to introduce them to Commander Reynard and make it clear, like, these are your special forces type. Use them well.
Yeah, cool. He introduces the leader of that group to be an individual by the name of Dolch.
Dolch.
Yeah.
As opposed to Dutch.
No. Dolch.
Yeah. Dolch.
No,
okay.
I'm thinking Commando. I got Dutch. Oh, all right.
You son of a bitch.
And I'll get you that group fully.
How does Kettle's not interacting too much with this whole process, just surreptitiously, like, sneaking around and hiding a lot.
Sure.
But what's her read on these individuals? That have
Which
been on the ship?
individuals? Which individuals?
The mercenaries that.
So the second group, not the first group.
Yeah.
Second group. These are okay. Give me an insight check, please.
Insight.
Yeah.
6. Wait.
Is that a reliable talent for you?
It's not a reliable talent for me. I'm just gonna use luck.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I have a bad feeling about that. Was a horrible roll when we somehow got work. So Roach is feeling wary.
It's been a night for rolls. Oh
Yeah.
my.
To be fair, Kettle
These-
doesn't roll well. She just does not have the ability to roll poorly on most of her skills.
They look like mercenaries. Look like pretty tough ones as well. Like, there is not an individual amongst these that you would want to meet in a well-lit street, let alone a dark alleyway. They
This is
look.
Kettle. She wouldn't want to meet. She wouldn't meet Pascal on a dark street. Jesus.
It is. They are. they are clearly. I don't know how much Kettle will have met any of the Legerungslander military before, but they are.
Never.
She
Ron was
would.
the first Warforged. She
would know though. If a Warforged has been given a name, it means they've completed their military service.
Cool.
So they've clearly had some experience.
Well, all right. If she heard that, she didn't put ear protection on when that cannon went off, so she might still be deaf. But
oh, this was the next day to that, so
true.
Okay.
All right. No.
Okay.
I got a bad feeling.
I've got a bad feeling about my.
Yeah, you're randomly chosen. Either that or they're gonna be really shit. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
I will say that Zep asked a decent source of who they would trust.
I know.
Yeah, Zep asked this specifically because he himself came recommended by Heldenhammer or whatever her name was.
Yeah, these people have been placed on your ship by the head of the Legerungsland military. Like essentially a 5-star general from the US military said, "Hey, I need to put this team onto your ship. They are civilians that are making their way to the other place for extra protection duty."
You horribly overestimate the trust I have in the military complex of the United States.
No, okay, no, that's fair. That's
Especially 5-star generals.
That's a different story, but and then that civilian was asked if he knew any other civilians that were decent.
I'll stop thinking like Darius, and I'll just allow it to happen.
Darius would have a better read of these individuals.
Oh yeah, I know, and it's annoying me.
Anyway, I'm gonna quickly zoom back. So, Zep, obviously, you're gonna be ordering those constructions, doing those things. I will when we get to the break, I'll actually nail out how much those are gonna cost, so you guys know how much money that you've got left in the funds.
Also, have a think about the guild dues. Like, rules is written, it's like 1 gold a month, but I'm fairly sure we've earned more than that.
Jesus.
Considering the last sum of money I gave you, I think with the last sales is something like 56,000 gold pieces.
I think we're above that because that's what I invested in the first case.
Yeah, we haven't. I haven't given you the sums for the Russian end of the journey yet. So we'll work that out from deductions post upgrades. I think is probably the best way of doing that. And also, I've just got a really cool idea of these 2 gun platforms on the side of the ship that you can just casemates that go and they can be out and shoot over the sides, and then that can arch down it's like roller coaster on a chain noise. It goes to side and is now just pointing down, and you have to magnetize your boots to be able to balance as you're turning it, which sounds just fucking dope.
The DM's getting excited.
It's
We're in
cool.
danger.
It's a really cool idea.
Ship's gonna blow up soon. That's what happens. When everybody gets invested in it goes away.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. You as a note, the idea was floated to Zep about hosting the meeting or this council of the various leaders of the land on the ship. However, I will put it out there that the top deck of the ship not that big anymore with the amount of shit you guys have put on it. Just because there's a training area up there, there's now these casemates on the side. You do still have 2 ballista on there as well.
True, but we still have the captain's quarters. And did someone use that? I feel like that's still empty. Is Breton's? Okay. I mean, if there's a council meeting, maybe we can use that.
Isn't there a big observation?
There's the big observation room. There's also our mess quarters.
And my kitchen.
Just stuff a whole bunch of
Are there any uninhabited
into a single
islands
room, and then we got a whole bunch extra
that we could go to?
Uninhabited islands.
An uninhabited island, yeah.
Fine.
But I'm not against the concept.
Just strand
as
all the
in
world leaders
not-
on the uninhabited island and then fly away.
Sort your shit out.
I mean,
I imagine multiple of them will have the ability to teleport
trying
out.
to
So.
think. You do know that there is a large island to the south of Nardathel that's owned by Mort the Magnificent. You know that there are various islands in the Valorous Strait. So the sea, the Valorous Expanse, which is, but that is, they're uninhabited to the level of this island is cursed. This island is full of things that will kill us. Sort of. It's Kong. It's Kong. I think it's the easiest.
It's Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, it's Skull Island. It's like it's that kind of inhabited. It's not like fancy
It's a
desert
Tuesday
island.
Crew reference.
Yeah. Yes, it was. But there are tiny islands in the Bay of Gold as well that smugglers use. Like.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. Just somewhere neutral, that no one owns it. It's just a
problem is that like you have to go quite a long way to get to areas where people don't claim it.
right.
I was
That
going to
was the
say,
reason we proposed the skyship, just so it could be
Yeah.
in international waters. And no,
if the skyship doesn't work, the next it'd be more time consuming. But the other place we could go is let's just go across the Solarum. Let's pick like the Koskonet. Sorry, the name is escaping me at the moment. The Orcombe land. That's neutral.
Korzak.
Korzak.
What am I thinking?
Principality of
Or
Korzak.
Atria. Or
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Like any one of those places would be a neutral place that has no stake in the war that's going on right now.
yeah, it's more the fact of like it would be fine, but everyone would be standing and kind of like looking at it. It's like you have a skyship, but it's got 300 crew members, and then you want to invite all of the leaders of the free world.
What's
Kind of
the sibling hug thing? You wear this until you until you guys settle your differences, like the shirt that puts you both together at the same time.
Actually, anyone can be free to make a. Ooh, so would geography? I guess geography would be a nature check. But I will allow
Bible.
I'll allow history. No, this is like history of geography, so like land masses.
Have we heard of an island that is uninhabited that would be suitable for such a thing?
Yeah, it's just random
That's not
history.
bad.
Look, I'll bring you all to the underdog.
Nope.
Hey, that's the first roll over 10 today. That's a 20 for
23.
Breton.
I rolled a 16 plus 6, 23.
7 rolls, nothing higher than a
Anything
6.
above 20. You do know that historically, and speaking of the Valorous Expanse, the islands that are in there, some of which are cursed, some of which are said to be filled with monsters, that kind of thing. Deep within that island chain and that like sort of archipelago in that area is said to be the location of the first Great Summit.
That
Wait,
might be an idea.
You mean the island to the north that looks like a big crater?
No, to the south, in between
Oh.
the two continents. No,
I mean, if
that-
anywhere was
that
going
one's
to be
got different-
appropriate.
Yeah, like there is there is a place there, and that would be extremely neutral.
extremely neutral.
Like, but
Would
you'd
it
have to
be
get
extremely safe?
Mm.
I don't like that shrug.
I mean,
Honestly, I think the
have to
Skyfire
look
might
at-
just be the best. We'll clear out some space.
Like I said, just shove a whole bunch of like ratings into a single room and just use the extra
already
space
do that.
for do more. Let's just
Everyone else is in like
compress some
those
more.
triple like hammocks right now. Like
Yeah,
that's
move
how
some
you
furniture.
feed so many. It will be tight, but it's possible, and you will not have space for the entourages of these people to stay. As a note,
yeah.
just as a heads up, it's not going to be a
Two,
comfy-
two guards per. Two guards.
We can
per,
also
and then
dock
they come.
somewhere in a
Yeah.
spot where,
That could be done.
I don't know, Retberry?
Redberry is technically is not neutral.
It's also It's like contested
Yeah.
It's an active combat zone.
occupied, and both parties claim it. It's a mess.
Oh
So
wait, what
it's-
about this?
It's just
Why not
somewhere
Ruby's
that-
home?
it's where you
Ships
guys-
underneath
also
our
not
ship.
neutral.
No, there's nobody there either.
But the Nardathel's in the war.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's nobody
it's-
there.
It's
Still-
on contested ground.
It's
I'm just suggesting they could just have ships that follow us into the ocean, and then those ships stay anchored below the sky ship, and then they can just commute to talks,
works.
and they stay on their own like boats away from each other to decrease the chances of assassinations.
We need a space. Elendor, Switzerland.
What's the political leaning of Zorp?
What about
We don't want to know.
of the Zorbs. The Zorbs or the conglomerate, the hive mind that controls them.
Yeah.
what about that place that what's it called? Hang on. South of Siege, that independent-y area.
Oh, Spinabo?
Spirabo, which it's only independent depending on which map you look at.
The best kind of
Probably not.
independent, then.
Probably not great.
I still think a neutral island is the
Yeah,
is
why
the
don't-
one that we hit on.
Why don't we find an island in the south in that chain?
Like I said,
That sounds like a great chain to look at.
I guess we could.
It'd be
The
nice,
island where the summit
warm,
was held-
tropical.
The island where the summit was held originally seems like that's a strong message to send about what we're trying to convince them that we need to be doing here.
That would help.
Yeah.
We'd have to go there and scout it
Find it.
first, and that could take more time than we have.
Oh, Zep, there was one thing that the Duke would have given you before, but just to help with this whole scenario, as I know, he's given you a crystal ball. It is, and once per week, you can use this to cast a spell called Conference.
I feel like there's some foreshadowing on that.
It is the same spell that he used to grab the plans of the gun. It lasts for up to an hour, and it allows you to essentially communicate like a conference call with up to 2 other locations.
The problem with the islands in the Valorous Expanse is how long and far away it takes. We are on a timeline. I think Roach had the best idea for just everybody sends a couple of ships that can crew and feed themselves, and when it's time to do the meetings, little boats will take you up to the Skyfire.
Yeah. And we can transport them on Pascal's
Yep.
little, death rig. That's.
I think that's
definitely
probably
not
the
gonna
best
crash.
bet. Because, Midge, correct me if I'm wrong, that would take from Seat to the Valorous Expanse Islands would be like, what, 2 months?
If charts are accurate.
Yeah. And that's assuming Nardathel, or assuming Rian doesn't go, hit nuke 'em!
Yeah,
You have
think-
5 months, by the way, as a reminder of what. Well,
Yeah.
it's actually 4 months and 2 weeks now.
So we have
Like,
to get
that's-
everybody back together, fly down there, clear a meeting area, then somehow transmit that location for them to start coming down there and get it all done within 5 months. I think
Yeah.
it's going to take a long time to hash this out. So I think
Sure.
most time.
Okay.
I agree.
Alternatively-
with agreeing with me.
Get it's weird, I know. Bay of Gold. Just somewhere in the Bay of Gold.
Yeah.
Bay of
Just
Gold is
right-
currently Empire controlled, though.
You can get ships there!
Yeah, you'll
They
just
have
have,
yeah, it's-
you can say that there is a like
Exclusion zone.
if they fly this flag, like you guys can work on this. You can approach the various.
Yeah.
This is why you're in multiple courts right now. Please make it so that you guys are currently the fact that you guys are split is worth something more than just what we've got right now. Because if you have to get together and then find out you need to break up again, I will
Guys,
physically
Midge
spend
is
this
having
holiday.
a panic attack.
Yeah, I will physically spend this holiday period flying to wherever each of you are and finding you. Like,
Bring it.
We get
Bring it, Major.
we
Can
get-
take you.
each nation gets 2 ships, the flagship of whatever's carrying the delegation, plus 1 support ship. The Skyfire is the meeting location.
No other ships within 50
No other
miles.
ships, yeah, in that radius.
cool. Who's on the invite list?
The delegations from the Eladrin, the delegations from the Rhiannian, delegations from the Nardathel, and the delegations of Legrin's land. So the leaders or I'm assuming each one is going to send a representative. So I doubt Eladrin's going to step his ass out.
Any neutral parties?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we want a mediator?
Or do we just want, third
Mediator from
party
Atria, because they're already kind of clued in on what's happening because we went there and spoke with a bunch of them.
Let's get our mediator could be Zedaar.
Stop bringing Zedaar back.
Or the other gold dragonborn that we met.
Yeah.
Or we can get Big Boss Dragon to come out.
We can't.
We can't.
Too busy.
Unlikely.
Just like the other guardians, he won't move.
I mean, I guarantee you, the one who helped us fight Arokaz would probably show up and help, and he'd be a really good. He'd be a solid sword to
Aureus?
choose. Yes.
Aureus, yeah.
No, Aureus was the big one.
Yeah. No, Aureus was the big one.
He's the one that helped us. So.
No, Aureus is the one protecting the chalice.
Aureus is the big bad, awesome god.
Hey,
god
don't call
tier
him
one.
bad. He's a badass, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Big bad, like.
No, it was
badass.
it was the adult dragon that came with us. The one that Breton was.
One of Aureus's great
Yeah.
grandchildren.
The one that
How
went
about-
with us to meet him.
Procopius.
How about this?
Yeah.
Procopius.
I'm just looking at a map. Could we also get a delegation from Atria as a neutral third party, as well as a counterbalance to that, so that we have. I think having two neutral kind of balances things out. We could also get Benumdum in on this, because we also have connections there that we can bring in, and that also kind of counters. That is more neutral in a sense, I think.
They do owe us something of a favor for helping try and reestablish good relations with them in Atria.
Yeah, and that way, if anything in Atria, if any of the Atrian representatives or everything have bad blood with one of the others, we have a fallback of people to work at, and that way we have, again, we're getting a Versailles going on right now. Hopefully,
It's a
not as-
proper summit.
Yeah, we're getting a Versailles going, so I think we need to have those two definitely. And if we wanted to, I don't know what the the problem is Roach has no idea about the political situation on the other continent on Solarum right now, so I don't know if we're going to be calling up rivals that will then just create more trouble at a summit for a war that they're not a part of. So
Let's
I
just
don't
get
wanna-
Atria. Yeah.
Atria and Benumdum, I think, are the two, because I don't think they have any bad blood or anything.
I don't think Benumdum even at all, but
Yeah.
Actually,
And I don't-
they actually do, but it's
No,
the
but
history-
Numdum and Atria do have bad blood. That's actually one of the things that we were talking about, because that was why we had to get special permissions for them to come with us to Atria for the thing we were setting up, is because they have had issues in the past.
no,
But
let's
that
just
would be a great thing to bring in, the fact that we have been a mediator. At least we've helped some previously with that kind of thing, because we helped a delegation get into Atria from Benumdum, and it was peaceful and nobody got hurt, and it was a I don't know, a useful or not useful. You know what I mean? It was a
Political success.
It was a success, and that could be a good example we could bring as those two come up. So that's what I suggest. Roach, but Kettle's quiet.
Yeah,
Kettle is unaware of all of these details. Yes.
He's unaware of all of those. This is just a voice in all your heads.
No, this is a conversation that you need to have for sure.
Yeah,
So
that's my
always
suggestion.
Have this out of character conversation right now. I think is a good thing,
Yeah.
because this will navigate
anybody
where
has
we're going.
Anyone has a
no.
comment?
I already, a guy said what I said. Bring Atria, and they'll be the mediators.
Sure. Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay, cool.
Could you?
I'm not opposed to Benumdum and Atria showing up. I think Atria is a good choice. I know Procopius is a good choice. I think having multiple neutral parties is also not a bad idea. We can't bring in the Vasilian Theocracy, because obviously that's biased fake, because that's owned by the Rien, I'm pretty sure, or at least connected by the Rien. We don't have any contacts with the dwarves, so it's not like we could access the dwarves. We know.
Also,
we don't
really in a major civil war right now, so
Yeah,
probably
not the best choice.
Not the best choice.
As for the Principality of Korzak, we didn't really make any super important connections there, so we don't know who we would contact there. At least with Benumdum and Atria, we know some people we can call in.
High up people too. We got people from their Benumdum, that university.
You met the
we
Grand
can-
Duchess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if we got. I was talking about some people we've actually interacted with for prolonged periods of time. But yeah, no, we have connections.
And
That's
the
why. That's why I
and the
suggested it.
colonel in charge of protecting her diplomats.
Right. So yeah,
Who you hated as a character.
At the very least, though, Atri is
oh,
a good
yeah.
idea.
Because your
Because
sympathetic
saying-
accent came out, Roach.
At the very least, Atri is a super strong choice. Because if we can just say, yeah, no, we have neutral parties, dragons, to ensure things go smoothly, like, either that's going to scare people away or it's going to make them feel like, you know what, security's handled. We got dragons on security.
And if, the good dragon cult decides to step in, well...
Atri also has a vested interest because they know what's at stake.
Yep.
Yeah.
true. That's also why I said Benumdum, because they also. Have
All right. Let's set the meeting point for somewhere inside the Bay of Gold. Maybe just south of Retbury.
Just a suggestion. I agree with that, but just a suggestion because my brain makes me think. On the map, there is the star lines for navigation that radiate from the center of the map. Why don't we just put the ship right in the center of those? Because it's right in between the three kind of peninsulas of the two continents. That so we're kind of equidistant.
Which map?
You want to go
I'm-
inside the Channel Divinity?
Yeah, hold on. It's the map that shows both Solarum and Longreach together. So it's just
Ruby's map.
yeah, Ruby's map. It's to the west of the western edge of Nardathal, south of the southernmost peninsula in the Eladrin, and west of the, I think, or east of the easternmost section of Solarum. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's like in that.
That's also where the
that
Black
center-
Dragon appeared.
Yeah,
or thereabouts.
So that's a counterpoint. So I was saying that would be just a perfect spot to place us in right there. Also, we're not like in the Bay of Gold. Depending on where we are, we're really close to one of the other factions that are combatants. This way, we're equidistant or close to equidistant from everybody. Just a suggestion. I don't. Yeah. Again.
I need these details, so it's good suggestion.
No, I agree. The only problem with being in the middle of the ocean is ships can rock a lot, and there's not really an anchor point.
There's magic. We can.
Sure.
The anchor
That
point
or
is
the-
skyship.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or the skyship could just be like roped to.
Yeah, sure.
hold. Yeah, just put a couple of.
But yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
They could sail a holding pattern while we hold conference on the skyship above them.
Yeah, we can maintain.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's the most like. I'm thinking about diplomatically. That's the most diplomatically neutral location that we can choose. That's not on land, or a dangerous island that is uninhabited but has monsters.
Okay. So, how, as a group, are you going about contacting these people? Obviously, you've got Eladrin the Immortal and Godric of the Rien kind of on board, but they need details, obviously. How do you go on? And so, obviously, if you contact the
Probably
Iron
just
Duke,
go to
he'll
them.
totally be there. But how are you planning on approaching them? What details are you giving them? What's the details of how many people they can bring? Are any
We know
bands? Are there any? What's the picks? What's the bands? What's the champion select? Like what's?
I would
what's-
prefer.
What's the date that you want to hold this by?
I would prefer if the actual leaders came themselves, but I doubt they will.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question, Midge, so we can work out a time, because I think that's the thing we need to nail down first, and then we can work out everything else. From each of the long reach major combatants, what is the travel time from their closest major military port to the location that we picked? And then we'll average that out, and then we'll work out the others from there. Good luck, Midge.
Why does that matter?
Because we need to work out a time that works for everybody. If somebody can't make it in time, or somebody can't.
We set the time. They figure it out.
Well, if somebody can't show up, it wouldn't matter if the Latrin can't make it.
You have 3 months to get to this location. Like, plenty of time.
But I'm also thinking the fact that somebody's going to say like, oh, I don't want to put my boat with my delegation on the water in a contested, especially Nardathel and Rienne. They're not necessarily going to want to put a boat in the Bay of Gold that's contested with military unless they know that there is a set time.
Who are you inviting from Nardathel? Because remember, that's 5 kingdoms with one high. There's with a council of 5 kings and then 1 high king. Like, is it the high kingdom that's coming? Is it someone from Othray coming on their behalf? Like,
I think that's something we
Is
have
it
to
each?
leave to each individual country. Like we
so
notify
it's
the.
not a, like the person that would take the longest by ship would be Legrungsland because they have to go all the way around essentially. Whereas the other two
Sky
kind
ship
of
grass
leave
over there.
Bay
Do
of
they not
Gold.
have
I
a
was
sky
glad
ship?
someone took a
They not have their own
Yes.
sky ship?
Of course they do. That's it. But you've said that they're going by ship.
That's true. Honestly,
Still
yes,
a
that's
ship.
It's still a ship.
Doesn't park on the fucking water though.
It's true.
Actually, it could.
Yours can.
Do we have the only skyship that can just hover in place?
No. But the other, but then there's a kind of thing of like, I thought the idea was them to be relatively.
Yours has
equal in
spell
what they
cannons.
bring.
Yours is flying. The Rienne's exists, I guess.
The Rienne's have got glorified fucking
I think
longboats. They're not
I
any
think
good
I
shit.
understand. I think I understand Midge's mentality because the idea is the fact that
Everybody
by
goes
all
there
of them
equal.
everybody goes and they're in ships. None of them have a tactical advantage. They all have 2 ships that are there. If there is one, if you have 2 sky ships versus 5 ocean ships,
We assume by direct line of ship from seat to that space is probably 3 months of journey. Assuming they are not allowed to go over the Eladrin and south, which I'm assuming
Also,
you can't.
I'll remind you that Lederungsland is a trading nation. There's a good chance that there would be ships out there that he could requisition.
true, but he'd still have to get to there. I think is the question.
Yeah, but
Also-
he could take a skyship to Givry on Mo, which I think has, or Corvilo, which has a tower, and then get a ship from there.
Just to throw this out there, let's also assume these are leaders of powerful nations. They can fucking teleport, guys.
That's
Like,
true. That's
This-
why I'm saying
we,
the ship.
And how long? Just other questions, if you know this on top of your head, Mitch. How long did it take us, Ruby and Breton, to get to seat from after we left Castle Cullis?
Oh, dear
It was like
Lord.
2.5 weeks, right?
Yeah. It's well, yes, because you teleported. It was 7 days to Modgwin. Teleport. You spent about half a week there in home, and then teleported across. So yeah.
Not even 2 weeks. The Emperor was already in seat from the other side of the Rienne. That journey took us like 3 months. The guys can
How
get
about
around.
How about we say this? Because I don't know necessarily about Atri or Benumdum. Why don't we say 3 months' time from now is when it'll happen, and we block out and we say like this could go on for a period of time. So plan for like month at sea.
Are there any feast days or celebrations?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Take a look at your calendar.
Damn it.
I've programmed a calendar into Fantasy Grounds for this exactly reason.
In 3 months' time, we have the Festival of Blossoms in the second week of High Blossom.
There we go. It starts then, and I guess it can go into New Seed if it needs to.
Then you're gonna find out that Rienne doesn't work on a federal holiday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's actually against our religion to be able to break bread during this festival.
Yeah, this is a shield
Actually-
day. Therefore, it's
Let's just
protected
say-
by...
Let's just say the first of High Blossom, so that the festival happens during the second week, and that way it's like we get the first kind of main week of everybody settling down and kind of setting lines and stuff, and then we have a festival there to kind of get people to break the ice, and then hopefully that makes the rest of the month a bit easier. People loosen up a bit. If we're trying to be like, we're trying to work this as much to our advantage as possible.
So
That would be
therefore,
something.
is it better for you to come up with a location? If
No,
they're
I
going
still
to-
think it happens on the ship. Like we have.
I will recreate if you're looking to have a festival-ish sort of things going on. Your ship is not big enough for this. It's what I'm basically saying. Your observation room is a glass deck which has like it's home movie theater size. It's not
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it was going to be people standing around kind of like this. Like,
If we're planning it for it to be 3 months out, there's no reason we couldn't pick an island.
or
Is there an
find a
island in
location.
the area that or sandbar even, or something like
know?
that's in the area? Does anybody in this nation of knowledge know?
Maybe?
I mean, we could also just posit that to these nations and like get their opinions on what islands they may want to pick.
Oh, they're all. It'd be like it.
Yeah, but then if we pick one of them, that's showing favoritism.
Yeah, it'll
Well-
just be. You'll be like asking like between the UK and France, what island do you want to have a peace conference on, and they're both going to be choosing like islands they own, and it's going to be like which side of the channel do you want to have this on? It's like.
I mean, my idea was it can't hurt to get a list because if they happen to each pick one that is insane, it's like, hey, they both picked an island, that's good to go. If they don't pick any islands the same, cool. Then we pick an island that none of them picked because that's just the one we're going to have to work with.
We also have a cartographer on board
You do?
whose
Yeah.
job it is to do stuff like this.
Could she make a roll and you tell us what she knows which?
If
Yeah,
you
give
use
us a list of
her,
recommendations.
if you use her name, I might be more inclined.
Sure,
One second,
give
one
me
second, one second, one second.
What's
Who is
that,
she,
1
the
second?
I was
cat?
literally talking to Roach about this
Eru.
like 30 seconds ago. Our
Eru.
cartographer is Eru, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you, Midge.
Can you read her abilities for me? Because I'm pretty sure there is one that pertains to this.
Yeah.
Can read map good.
Special abilities. Wanderlust. Her time traveling has made her mind map as strong and detailed as any of the charts. Eru has an advantage on history and investigation checks related to questions about geography. Can write anything 2 times faster than any normal adventurer.
So
Advantage.
she has advantage on this.
Yeah. History or investigation has
And,
a intelligence of, or a history of +6, religion +6.
So that's a 24.
Flash of genius.
Okay. Makes it a 29. No, I'm trying to get you
Guys.
to use your stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! It's
Guys.
a 2.
Yeah, guys, we can't. We got.
Okay.
No, Midge.
So you go to her cabin, and she begins to pore through her maps and charts. She does come across an island within the Channel of Divinity. It is not a huge one, but it does have it's privately owned by an individual who doesn't keep to a nation, and they run a they have like a villa there.
Is there a law? Is there like an eminent domain law that we could?
You want to
that we
take
could-
control of
Elliptic
that?
main, like yeah,
Yeah.
world's in crisis. We're just taking your island.
I think a more important question at that point is asking, so this is a person who doesn't subscribe to any one nation. Do we want to ask who that is first? Just, make
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess the first letter of their name's M.
No. That's
And-
below
and
the below the Bay of Plenty, more magnificence over there.
Okay.
He has his island. It is someone you've met though.
Is it that is it the lady? The lady, the I can't.
Oh, is it the
remember.
undead lady?
Yes, the undead lady. That's what I was thinking.
When they gave Darius an existential crisis.
Shane's correct, so I'm gonna let him.
Delphina.
Yeah, it's Delphina.
Thank you.
Delphina has an island.
Ah.
there.
That should be easy. She liked us, kind of. She tolerated us.
Oh, I've lost everyone.
I would make that as well.
I will need you guys to repeat what you said. I lost everyone for a moment there. Discord had a funny.
Same.
That was, yep.
Cool.
Okay, Delphina was the person. She's also a member of the council, whose name I have forgotten. And I was going to suggest we should have a representative from that group there, as they are the experts.
I mean,
And if we're doing it at her residence.
We were grabbing somebody from Bonumdum, so
You were
But,
planning on grabbing Aureus as well, who was
yeah.
organised that council meeting. So
True.
Yeah.
Again, Procopius, not Aureus. We got to
fine.
make sure we get that name right.
That's because
No,
you
no.
guys were saying Aureus.
Yes,
Yeah.
we want to solidify. It's Procopius. Procopius is the correct person and name we're going for.
Yes. She has a private island.
The-
A lot of these individuals from that meeting don't keep to systems of government.
Political standard. Yeah, they do. They go their own way.
You can
Because they're
just you can just say they're a shadow council. We get it.
They're not.
There is actually
They're not a shadow council. It's more the fact that
They're
some
the
of them
Illuminati.
Okay.
there is actually
a lot-
another option. I just realised Marcius Flux. He has a floating island.
Hmm.
He
No,
was
this
also on
works.
that
This
council.
works. This we've already got the undead ladies. Like we can.
She has a chateau.
That would be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Let's do the floating island again, and let's just bring up something so the big guy comes in, blows the island up again. Let's just settle this problem right fucking now.
Cut the heads off of every nation.
Yeah,
for it,
let's just remove authority from the
Anarchy.
war and be done with it.
Let's just kickstart the apocalypse. Let's just
Why not?
I
We
mean,
keep
if we
trying to steer it. Like we keep trying to steer out of the skid. Let's just steer into the skid this time, guys.
steer into it.
steer into the apocalypse. Just sunglasses.
We see that guardrail. We're not getting through it unless we put some speed
No,
on.
it's just the fucking. It's like the gods are looking like fucking shit. What's the film where Thingy plays himself with Pedro Pascal and the Pedro Pascal and Thingy meme to
Driving down the road.
yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Like Nicolas Cage is looking at you guys where you guys are like straight into the apocalypse. Make your own kind of music. Oh Christ.
We will.
So we have a snapstone in our inventory. We can contact her, and then she can use her incredible connections to contact us with a more reliable way of communication. I'm assuming.
Perhaps.
Perhaps that, or you could immediately use your conference. Just immediately.
It's once a week, so like we got presumably quite a few uses of it.
Yeah, we need to set the location before we can give everybody like the actual invitations. That's probably a good idea, actually.
Okay.
So do we want to snapstone her to make sure she's like capable of talking to us right now and not in the middle of like a business dealing or something?
If we can get a hold of a snapstone, sure. We could just say like something. Excuse me, Lady Delphine, please get in.
Most of you are either one of you is in their family's very expensive like what's it called, shipbuilding shipyards, which is magically inclined. The others of you are in the court of Eladrin the Immortal. The others of you are in the court of Godric the 16th, who is now also an avatar of the gods. I think someone's gonna have a snapstone.
All right, so each of us grabs a snapstone and sends Delphine a different message
Put it this
that
way.
we need.
Put it this way. The
It's just the
scope
day you wake up and your inbox is just full of messages for no reason.
Oh God, it's Bruce
Blowing up.
Almighty. You've got
I think
prayers.
if we contact her, does she like? Do we have to go through that? What does she say if we contact her with the proposition or potential? We could pay. We could just not pay
She's
for
currently
it.
not staying at her island. It's vacant.
good.
Because she's currently spending time with Marcius in Kaitang.
Ooh.
I was going to bring up Kaitang is basically the strongest nation on the planet, if I recall my notes correctly.
One of.
In terms of oomph. Do you think we ought to invite them along? At least having a clue.
We have
Not for the
no
purpose,
in.
not for the purposes of the war, but for the apocalypse side of the conversation.
Well, here's what we can do.
But
We can put out personalized invitations to everybody that we've said, and we can put out a general invitation to each of the other nations and say, this could just be this is a general conference. There is the negotiation of a peace or prolonged ceasefire, but there is a major, blankety blank blank. We actually say like, if you want to send a delegation, here are the rules and requirements.
There
if
are
they show up,
various
they show up.
embassies in the various cities that you're in. We can make a lot of this work. Just, I need the plan of everything you want to do, because that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna throw the D&D game out the session. We're in party planning mode, guys. That's what we're now doing.
All right.
This is now just a tabletop political
Let's go.
game.
So I'm gonna list off what we've agreed on so far. So only ships can only 2 ships per delegation, a flagship or major ship and a support ship that has come in from the island. It's a 50 nautical mile exclusion zone of any other ships by any nation. Only ones that are
Does someone want to start like a Google Doc or something?
Yeah,
I'm writing it down right now.
Okay,
I'm writing it down as you're reading it.
Only allowed if you
Same.
have a flag that we agree upon. So I don't know, like we'll figure out like a flag or something like that. A white flag, yeah. If you have a white flag, it has to be those 2 ships. It has to be an ocean-going ship. Yes, James.
Can we use Kaitang to secure the exclusion zone? Because we don't have any way to make sure that our exclusion zone stays an exclusion zone, right? We need a securing force that's a neutral party. And Beth just brought up a good idea that Kaitang has a lot of might.
Does Kaitang have any? He just gone.
So it was funny because you said that. My first thought is like, you know what? I need to double check. Is Kaitang an exclusively landlocked nation? Because that would make that really awkward if you're gonna ask them
They're
about.
not.
They have a large coast, a very large coast.
Okay, sure.
But the only issue I have is, do they have any major military like tensions with any other bordered nation? Because it looks like they do on the map.
Considering the giant walls,
That's
I would
what
imagine
mean.
so.
It'd be like asking, hey, China, we're having a negotiation. Mongolia's here. We need you to exclude. We need you to secure the.
And also Tibet and Taiwan.
Yeah, we need you to secure the exclusions. So that actually does come up. We could say.
I think that maybe Benundum would be the best ones to secure it, because they can use natural powers to do it. There's nothing more neutral than that.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe we just like, given the fact that the Reynards are now like pulling out of the war as a thing, we could just have them as
Too many connections, Durian.
It's too many connections, so that's my only like idea of like a third party.
Yeah, they were kind of the people that created the plague. That's just not happening. Let's just.
The Reynards did not create the
Okay,
plague.
but it was being synthesized in your freaking laundry room. Like that
was a demonstration.
It was not synthesized.
They were facilitating the distribution of.
It's true.
Yeah.
Cool. It's not happening still.
Yeah. So to answer your question about Kaitang militarily and geopolitically is Kaitang used to try and dominate the entirety of Solarum, and then they had a lot of. They essentially went through a 3 kingdoms period, and now they are. No, we're just staying behind our wall and we're looking to the stars. That's kind of their shit.
Yeah, I got the feeling they're very isolationist.
Yes.
Yeah, if we could get them to come out, that's the thing. The only other thing I could say is maybe we say that the exclusion zone is gonna be patrolled by a squadron of ships, but 1 ship from each nation. And it could be a thing that's, that's not.
Korzak would be a good choice because they tend to be the people who, if you could find a way to reach out to them, because they tend to be the people that, facilitate trade between the Eladrin and the Rien by going through them. That's where they are the middleman, because those 2 are so angry, but the market's still the market.
We could do that. We can incentivize their participation as the patrol by saying that it could help them market wise, like if they're facilitating a peace is a thing, kind of that could. So okay, we'll say we'll beseech Kozak to patrol the exclusion zone so that it remains excluded from other military vessels.
We could still try and reach out to Kaitang too.
Yeah, well, I think again,
yeah,
general invite to anybody who we haven't specifically called out as a personalized.
Also, if you grab all the information from Delphina about the island, it's a chateau that she also has as a private hotel. She has before held meetings of the type that you were privy to in Atria. it does have a teleportation circle.
I still think the ships are a good idea.
But I'm saying if there are people that, for example, Kaiteng, who might not need a military interest in this, there are routes for them to get there.
Yeah,
if you can find
we'll say if it's not a requirement, but we could make sure it's a requirement for the major parties of the war that have to be there, because that'll just smooth things over.
Can we get Anton to secure that teleportation circle when we get there? To make sure that it's warded and stuff like that from unwanted visitors?
He would have knowledge of those wards.
Yeah.
So we could put a mild one that doesn't kill somebody if they passed a cantrip or something.
Just knocks them out. It's unconscious.
Yeah, just
you
knocks them out and paints them. It's like a paint bomb or something,
A sleep spell.
You know, we could also have it that the delegations arrive via teleportation circle, but their supports can arrive by ship.
I think that's just the open thing. I'm just saying is we don't need to police how they get there, but we just need to police like what can be there, because that's going to be because
what we could do is they could
Discord
leader and their guards, and then that way they
Shane,
can
you're gonna have to repeat that.
Discord froze again.
Whole thing, yeah. Discord
program issues. Sorry about that.
All right, so the chateau, if that's where.
Oh, for fuck's
that teleportation circle. So the exclusion zone could be 50 miles around that island. They can bring their ships up to it, and then they have to stay anchored in their zones around this island. They could teleport from the ship to the island itself. We could host our thing. Then they can each individually get picked up from the island by their ships.
I think that works. I think that's just up. I just think that's just up in the air. I think that can, however they want to get on the island, they can. But just the people that are going to be there for the peace negotiations, they have to be they are expressly forbidden from anything more. Exclusion zone. 2 ships can be in the zone, but they don't necessarily have to be, or you don't have to take them. It's just a general thing. I think we're overcomplicating that. That just makes it so that it's even, and we don't have to worry about somebody. It's like if it's outside the exclusion zone.
Oh, Discord being real funny right now.
Oh, they're gonna be.
Sorry,
to each
so
other.
Discord cut out halfway through there, Roach. Is what I'm gonna say. We're 10 minutes away from our break anyway. Let's take the break early, slightly, and we can hope Discord kind of stops having a bit of a
mellows the fuck out,
because it seems to be fine, and then it doesn't,
But
it's also we can take our break now. So we'll be back in 10 minutes time. See you in a moment. Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex. I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere. And if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch. And just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Down.
So, we're back. We're still in the massive discussions. Whilst you guys discuss, like, plans and details here of what you want, I'm going to get you that list, Mordred, of how much things are going to cost. I'm going to give you... I'm just basically going to give you a receipt of purchase at this point, I think, is probably a good way of doing it.
Yeah,
including
I don't think we...
hire.
Yeah, I don't think we have the ability or the knowledge of the individual of like from Eladrin and the Rhiannian to like to dictate exactly who's coming in there, like who's going to be the primary negotiator, because I don't think we know like the head diplomat or the head like seneschal or whatever you want to call them from each government. But we can invite some friends over, but I don't think there's anything else we can really like go with on that, unless somebody else has like a list that I don't know of.
It's more like here are the big players, and each big player feel free to bring in like 5 or 6 cronies.
2.
Yeah.
2, 5 or 6 is way.
2 or 3 cronies.
2 or 3 that'll be a part of the negotiations on the actual island. You can have as many as you want on your ship for for that kind of stuff. I think that's fine. Yeah.
So Leagrunstrand is going to bring in, you know, like in Star Wars Phantom Menace, where all the droidicas are all like in the little rows and stuff. They're going to bring a bunch of
It's just 1 gnome and 10 warforged. Yeah, this is the negotiation party.
Yep. Negotiations of.
They're all diplomats, I swear. They speak with rifles and plasma cannons.
I will just remind you guys that the head of the one of the head, like there's 3 heads of the governmental departments in Legro's land. One of them is a warforged who is like primed in diplomacy. You met him, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
but again, we're saying is that whoever they want to send, we can't tell them. So you want us to give you a list, but we don't have enough people that we know in the highest levels of government that aren't generals or like the direct that we can give you like that list. We're giving you like the guidelines, and then you can pick.
Honest to God, it should be limited to the primary delegator, his backup delegator, and like 3 or 4 bodyguards.
That's what we've already been saying. We just need
like and mid-general people. We can't give specific people who are like we don't know enough other than going. I want the Emperor of the Rien. I want Eladrin the Immortal. I want the Iron Duke.
That's what we've given you.
We want them.
I was also asking for any other friends or allies you want there to maybe help sell what you're trying to sell them on, etc.
Yeah.
Well,
we
other
talked
than
about
the hatted Shadow Council people, whose name I forgot. We could contact Mort or contact Undead Lady and say, hey, can we get the council to meet here together as well? Because this involves them. If anybody can interpret the signs better than Ruby can, it would be them. Which, if we can get there early, before the delegations get there, and we can convene with this council, we can talk about the evidence, and finally, when we have to present it towards the delegations, we could say, this is what we're fairly certain is going to happen. And these are the leading scientists, wizard people around Elendor who agree with me, or don't agree with me, I guess, depending on the point of view. I'm hearing nobody say no.
No, I agree with that.
Okay.
That's about the only other thing we've got. All
right, cool.
Like again, we've given you as much detail as we can give you before we have an actual like.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I wanted names of allies. Like that's the.
So in order of appearance, we go there, we summon the elector counts, I guess the council of the. I honestly forgot the name, and I apologize, man, without looking at my notes. It's good in my notes to find it. We summon Mort and all the others and do one more grand meeting. And we take them the Book of Revelation and all the notes that Ruby took and detail out the series of events that we've encountered and go, we think this is happening. What do y'all think? We could finally get the actual puzzle together. And then shortly after that, the delegations arrive. we did he said, she said bullshit for the next 4 sessions. Hopefully not, but and we do the big council. There you go. Plan of action.
I don't know what else you want from us.
Yeah.
Do you want us to have a seating arrangement? Because I'll go and do it. Just I want to move
We've
forward.
not agreed to, but okay.
I do not want to go that. I do not want to go that hard in the paint.
You're looking to have a discussion with the people that you're refusing to find the name of.
Refusing. I don't have it open right now.
You're not the only one with notes.
The other one is not on camera and is eating right now.
Yeah, I was busy eating my crisps, but I finished now, so I can look.
I'm sorry, I'm doing long form math right now.
Then tell us
not
that.
sorry.
So we're not,
I said that!
we're not
I did say that! The first thing I said I was doing! I specifically told Mordred I'm doing it.
Are we still on break?
No.
No.
Who are
We've been up for a while.
That's why I was
Sorry.
leaving you guys to discuss if there was any other people you wanted right now, because I'm doing thousands upon thousands of gold people of pieces of maths.
No one else we know has an
Okay.
applicable reason to be there or would not cause issues. Because the only other thing I can think of is like there's some generals or there's some like individuals that are participating in the war that we don't want there because that's just going to cause problems. So,
We send messages, or we get the message out to the Azdakian Caliphate, Benumdum, Atria. Atria's gonna be the mediators, but we send missives to Kaitang and Azdakia and whoever else, and the Vestalian Theocracy. Hopefully, don't get the Crusader Knights people. Actually, let's just not do them.
can't exclude them.
Yeah, but can we though?
Have you got the dragon yet? No, we haven't.
Oh, because we don't care.
We don't want to go back. I just say, yeah, like we said previously, we just send personalized invites to the individuals that we really need there, and everybody else has a generalized invite that there's major discussions going on. It's also a peace conference and just a general meeting of nations. We're doing that.
Summon the elector counts.
When it comes to the Vestalians, consequences go both ways.
Yeah, but we do that, and everything else is up to them on who they specifically send and everything. And we have a date, we have a location.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that.
The trigger is pulled.
Yeah. We have the means of doing so through embassies and high-level wizards.
Society of Invisible Wonder. There it is.
Oh, okay. It's a lot less grandiose than.
Found it completely by accident because there was nothing in there about council.
No, there was a council way back. That's the Council of the Labyrinth. They're the people that are the Shady Network beneath.
Every time I looked for council, that's what
Other
came
Shady
up.
Network.
They're the Shady Network that run Repri.
Right. It's a little too high for them. The power levels moved on from that secret
But you know,
party. That's true. I'd say, did we do that? That's all we got. That's all we've really got. We can't. I was gonna say, do we want to invite any like Reynards as a major military power?
No.
But no, because they are an active combatant, so we can't do that.
Okay.
So we can't. Yeah.
Roach, roll me a d20. This is going to be the response from Korzak.
Cool. Luck. I will spend a luck on that.
Throw it off the map.
I have one more luck point. It's a waste on this damn thing. Come on. I'll take the 6.
Unfortunately, when you don't choose when you pick luck.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it just comes. It's just another dice you roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So the highest one I rolled out of a 3, a 1, and a 6 was the 6. So I'll take a 6 on that. Is there anything? Who is? God damn it!
I'm not rolling. I'm glad I'm not rolling because mine are no better over here.
Oh, this isn't the only roll that's going to be happening.
Ah, shit!
This is the first. This is like the first. Like yeah.
Okay. The Korzak receives the missive of, and will be sending a delegation, and they will provide 2 ships.
That was one less than what we envisioned.
Right. Who would like to roll for the? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to the generalized responses that you did not personalize, because I think you'll want to probably maybe roleplay that information on the personal stuff. Please, who would like to do kiting?
Sure.
Okay.
You want to roll it on screen?
You can roll it as manual. Just tell me what it is.
That's a 19.
19. Okay. Kaiteng respond that they will be sending a delegation.
And no support ships.
They won't ask for that.
No,
Okay.
We caused
Right.
because they're
Okay. Who would like to roll for the Azdakian Caliphate?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just a D20.
Yep.
That'll be a 2.
Okay.
Do you have luck? Use something.
Is this something that like it's not something that Valymr is doing though? This is just a generalized.
I use luck points on mine, and Midge was okay
this
with
is
it.
collaboratively for the team, so I will say I will allow you to use a session's luck point on this if you want to.
Nat 20 then. Okay.
Okay.
If you'll allow it.
Yes, the Azdakian Caliphate are the first to respond. They are going to be sending a delegation and also offer, ask if there's anything they need to bring, any like sort of, what's the expectation on gift? Like, like they realize it's going to be over the festival of Blossoms. Like, like, what's the dress code? Can they bring anything? Like, do you guys need any snacks?
Mommed by the
Bring
Azdakian
some
Caliphate.
cultural cuisine from your homeland.
Oh my
as,
gosh.
They
If it's real, authentic Middle Eastern food, I will. Ruby is just gonna.
the Azdakian Caliphate respond. They would be very, very happy to join with a delegation. So, who would like to do the Vistinian theocracy?
I don't think any of us who went there should.
This is
Breton will do it because he was the one that was supposed to do things, and I have my dice set up for this.
Ooh,
Wow.
ooh.
That's a 16.
16.
Hey.
They get back to you and they say, while they will not be sending a direct delegation of their nation, they will be sending a delegation of the faith from the Chevaliant.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't get the Scarlet Crusade or whatever they were called.
It's something.
No, if they try and send them, Breton's just gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I'm looking at the list and you're not on it."
Are those trainers?
No ticket.
Is there something I thought of? Is there like in the Feywild? Is there like a Fey court that we can invite if they would be at all interested? Because just from the parties that are involved in warfare, Eladrin's looking a little bit outnumbered here.
They started the war.
As I know, to do that would be summoning. Because that is a different plane of existence.
Yeah, I don't think this is a
The Watcher
mundane-
Paladin goes, "Excuse me?"
This is a mundane issue. I don't think we have any reason to do that.
That's like
Okay.
giving that's like going.
Just has Iolas got any Fey friends that he wants to?
Of course he does, but that's the problem. He
If-
can't go see him from time to time.
If we're gonna do that, and like, why don't we just go ahead and let's just summon the Never King into the middle of this and just see what he has to say about the whole thing.
It also
No,
it
because-
also-
Let him put it into this right now.
It's not being outnumbered. It's like it's two factions of the side of the war because one faction just has three
Resurrect
representatives.
Arakaz. Let's get him involved.
Oh, it's not a.
He's dead, Jim.
That's
far
why
as you
it's
know.
resurrection.
So.
Yeah. Okay. No mind then.
Okay. Who would like to roll for? Right. Quick question: are you inviting the, in air quotes, less civilized nations?
You mean like the Cognate?
Cognate and Disaria,
Did-
and
Do they even have a centralized form of government that one could appeal to?
Well, that's getting.
Okay. Anyways,
That's getting a little. I say we sent we sent out the missives. I
Okay.
don't think that we not
Somebody
shown
roll me a
favoritism.
D20.
sure, I'll keep doing it. Nobody else. Okay. So the
Well,
next up.
I was
we need one
Cool.
for.
No. Somebody hasn't rolled yet. Why don't we have somebody who hasn't rolled yet?
I can do it.
I think that's Zep. Yeah.
Mordred rolled twice.
Too late. James beat me to it.
Oh, right, okay.
well,
If James
all
rolls
right.
one, Mordred roll the other, because that would be the goblinoids and the cognate.
So goblinoids you said first, so 7 on them, 14 would be Cargonate.
Okay. The goblins are gonna send a delegation. The cognate is not.
Golly, one wonders why.
Goblin's like, yay, we're being included.
we were included.
Wait, the goblins are the Yam.
We're not just fodder.
They're the Yamcha of this whole thing. Frankly, just happy to be here.
Listen, the kids just got invited to the big boy table.
That's an insult to the goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the
Yam-
Zard.
I don't know
Yamcha.
what this yam shit is.
Are you
Sounds disappointing.
are you support with the Zarden? Are you sending missives to the are you sending them to the Tsarists, or are you sending them to the Yellows?
Oh.
The Tsarists or
You
the
know what?
Unionists?
They're in the middle of a civil war. Maybe we don't send them an invite. It seems like they got enough on their plate.
Just send it over and see who takes it. Honestly, it could be a good way because they'll both jockey for representation, so they're just both there.
Yeah,
Didn't
but
invite them.
see-
They showed up anyway.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just begging for them to get into their own little fights that we're gonna have to settle. That has nothing to do with the main plot, and that's gonna cause problems.
No,
They're trying
invite
to
them.
rep it.
Invite them both.
Is there a-
Because if we want
Is
them
there
to
a
feel,
church of... Sorry, go on.
we don't want them to feel discluded because that might cause even more problems down the line if we need to ally the world together. And then go, well, you
Both
didn't talk to us.
be trying to be diplomatic because they want to be the public face of the nation, and it'll be trying to outsmile each other off, kind of thing. Like,
No, I'm gonna let you in the door first. No, I will let you in the door first.
yeah, exactly. I think that's what. It's either that or
Arafat
they're gonna
and-
kill each other.
Arafat and
It's-
what's his and the other guy back in the old.
Okay. Somebody roll for the Zarden then.
Hang on. Before you do that, what about the Dwarven Church? Because wasn't it the Dwarven god who created the seals in the first place?
One of them, anyways.
You definitely made one.
18.
Oh
wait, Roach rolled.
The Dwarven Church. So
Alright,
the Dwarven.
Blind.
The Dwarven Pantheon is a smaller, like... The Dwarves have their own pantheon of, like, 5 gods, head up by the Dwarven Creator God, who is then represented in other pantheons. And then they have some people that follow other pantheons. Like, it's... They have more, like, a folklore pantheon, more than anything.
My thinking here is if we don't send an invite to a political entity, we could send one to a religious one instead to represent them.
They would have more stake in the summit based on what we're trying to work
Head of-
out.
Head
Well,
of
there's
faith
already-
of all of the 9 lights and other gods. If there's any of
There's
them wanna join.
already a religious representation coming in for the theocracy instead of the government one, so it's
Yes,
not
precisely.
necessarily.
Fair enough.
And I would kind of like to have a representative of the creator god, no, the crafter god, because I suspect he may be useful. Like if their high priest wants to go.
Okay, you want to specifically hit for the high priest. Whoever's making this roll, make it a disadvantage.
How about
Well, this is a suggestion. This is
if you do.
putting it out there.
Basically, just to how this is going to work, if you're hitting for someone specific, unless you're doing this like out of a personal connection, it'll be a disadvantage roll, whereas the other one will just be a flat.
We want to talk to the religious.
Just before we get off that, I'm game for inviting the Dwarvish Church, but instead of asking specifically for the high priest, just ask for a representative of their religion.
Yeah.
And let them delegate and choose who they would think would be the best representation for it.
Again, just like everybody else, they can pick the specifics.
Yeah.
Like,
Do we want to invite a representative from the Eladrin Pantheon and the human Pantheons? And the
I think
Chevaliant?
because-
I was saying this
No.
specifically with dwarves because it avoids the political issue.
Yeah.
the other churches are very much integrated into those.
I don't know. The Rihannites understand it. Like, the church and the Empire, like, they're integrated air quotes, but they still have their own...
Oh, the Pantheon of Albay is its own nation.
Yeah.
Papal state style. Just as a note. Like,
They would have then they would have gotten an invite.
Yeah.
We're sending them just to every
Yeah.
nation.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think
So
there's any.
they'll get one.
Yeah.
This was
I
just
think,
so that the dwarves could have a representative there without getting into the politics. I was going for a neutral party, and the church was the first one that sprung to mind.
I think that's good. Yeah, we'll send one to them too.
give me a disadvantage.
like dwarves. We are doing disadvantage? Okay.
Yeah.
I need a second.
Because you're trying to hit for a target, like a target that
No,
you
I think
don't
it's.
I was game for just approaching the church in general and letting them pick who
Yeah.
came.
know. Again,
But sure, Tony.
it's
Well, didn't matter. It was 2 5s.
because you're trying to hit. Yeah, you're trying to hit something specific against a nation state that you have no ties with. It's going through lots of channels. That's why it's disadvantage, rather than
Ruby
just
has-
going a blanket invite.
Or
You know,
Soul
the dwarves
has
are too
ties.
busy anyway.
Soul has ties to the Pantheon of Albec.
Yeah, this isn't
People-
that what you're looking for. You're looking for
It
the
isn't. We're not rolling that.
you're looking for a delegation from from the Zardom
Oh, right.
of Duradin, specifically looking for a faithful intellectual on Moradin. Like, there was a very specific request, kind of like, okay. You get a response that there will be a Zaris, or well, there'll be a delegation from Duradin. We'll see.
Very
what it turns out.
unspecific.
His name is Phil.
The janitor just happened to look the mail as one of them brushed it off the table and was like, "Oh, this is
it's
cool."
Mort the Magnificent in a dyed beard.
It's a Minister of Education. Whatever.
Should we
bringing a
invite
class.
Should we invite somebody from the Pantheon of Albay?
They're already getting because they're a nation. They're getting the Papal States are coming. So we've already set that out. That's
Right.
going. We're sending it
So-
to every nation state and
all of the nations, all of the states left except for Spinnerborough, have a direct tie for you guys. So I will allow a slightly different angle at this. I'll allow you to craft this invite more should you want to. If you want to do another blanket invite to like elements of these things, we can continue to do roles like this. But that is all of the Solarum nation states done.
Is the Goblin Zarabian oligarchy?
Yeah, yes, that's the Zarabian oligarchy.
They're just happy to be here.
it's kind of honestly gets mentally. It's like that painting of the Versailles Treaty, and it's just like really way up to the side, half cut off on the edge of the painting is just the representatives of Japan. Because they're not fully in the painting, but you see like the shoulder and half of their body just there. It's kind of like just right at the edge.
So, how would you like to personally approach the rest of these people, if you would like to? If you don't, we'll do some rolls.
Well, we already know the Eladrin are coming,
So,
and so is
I
so is
sent to
Rihanna.
Valymr then. Valymr, how are you proposing the invite now? Now that, because they've said if you can, but how are you officially inviting them? How are you going about that?
depends on would this be done after the party then, or
Yes.
I mean I know the party is lasting a long time, but at some
technically
point,
the party's still going on. Yes.
yeah. We'd probably approach Selena about it. That'd be the easiest, because we've got like just free access to Eladrin just at any time.
You're back.
But I'd say after like conversing back and forth with Zep and knowing what kind of like plans are being made, we'd probably pass that along to Selena, ask her to pass it along to Eladrin the Immortal, and see if he would be amenable to the situation that we're trying to set up. Because he's the one, obviously, that said he wanted to set up this kind of meeting in the first place. So I think he'd be amenable to meeting, but it's like the specific situation or what the plans are.
Okay. So you're outlining what's in mind, but leaving it freedom. Okay.
Would you be fine with being in this place with and these restrictions and
please, at advantage?
At advantage. Oh, we do like that. Persuasion. Oh, I'm not bad at that one either. That would be...
Wow.
Oh
Two
my
natural
god, I've
20s.
never rolled so fucking hot in my life!
Double nat 20s. That
Hey,
everybody watching and listening.
retroactively making that disadvantage? Because it's still a nat 20.
That was ridiculous.
You know what? Just for the sake of that, roll it again, Valymr.
No,
Damn,
that's
yeah.
the third 20 in a row. That's the third. I'm not doing it again. The chances of doing it again are so... I'm not going to make myself sad.
That's a good point, actually.
Who are you and what have you done with Lambert?
We've swapped places.
To be fair, both Mordred and me have been rolling shit tonight.
I know, I'm siphoning your energy. I am a hag.
Okay. The Eladrin Empire will concede to all terms and come and agree to what has been put forward. They will be sending a delegation led by Eladrin the Immortal himself.
Ooh, it's not a requirement.
Whilst Selena will be made regent.
Okay, alright.
In charge.
Can I-
And Solana will be told that whilst the actual thing is happening, she will take no ground.
Can I, like, do some kind of insight into Solana's, like, how she takes this? If I'm there when she's told about specifically Selena being made regent, can I, like, roll insight onto how she takes that?
Sure.
And this is where I get a nat 1. A 9.
Almost an 18.
It was very clearly through gritted teeth that she agreed. She's still in charge of all military matters, but she's been taken away from total mobilization footing.
Or, like, had her agency removed.
No, she's still very much in charge of all of the military. It's more the fact of the military isn't running the country.
All right, but no agency in the fact that she's not allowed to move forward, like advance the front lines.
She must take no ground.
Okay, cool. I will jubilantly pass that along to Zep that I'm getting the head honcho himself to come to the proceedings.
Okay. Who would like to go next in terms of talking to their direct contact?
Who's going to talk to the Rhiannon?
I mean,
So
you've got two people currently in the Rhiannon Palace, so...
Yeah.
Okay. Breton or Ruby? How would you like to go about your...
Do we
They
know
go because
that?
that Breton and Ruby would shoot me in the face with a bazooka. So
Do we know that the Eladrin Emperor is already going, or is this TBD?
You would know this because they're slightly behind you, which is the perfect way that you would know this.
Very well. Then it would be a case of us going to the Emperor direct and going, Eladrin the Immortal has agreed to a meeting, and he himself shall be attending.
Triple advantage.
Roll
It would
persuasion.
be with all the outlined parameters that we've already set because that's what we got and that's what Eladrin agreed to.
Yep.
Roll at advantage, please.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
Mhm.
Dice back on there. 17 plus numbers. 17 plus 9, I think, is Ruby's. 28? No, 20,
17 plus 9 is
20.
26.
26.
Okay.
But also a husky. And,
I was
triple
gonna say,
advantage.
That's a husky.
Oh, I'm looking at your on-screen profile, and the husky is sadly cut off. I see no husky.
No.
I feel no
She-
husky. There is no husky.
She's gone.
He just walked out.
Okay. Emperor Godric the 16th agrees to attend, as well as bringing his second son,
Not the Crown Prince.
not the Crown Prince. The Crown Prince
Yeah, I didn't think
will
so.
continue to run in his stead.
As a
we-
state.
We met this son.
You did?
This was the engineer, whose
Yeah.
name escapes me as well. 'Cause I'm so bad with names that I haven't written down.
Is
The
it
one that-
Godric?
Because it wasn't Breton that was there, it was
Yeah.
Zedaar that was here technically.
Yes, it was. He's the one that's studying architecture, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Architecture of theology. He was intended to become a member of the clergy, and then didn't. I think it's Osfrid. I want to say.
That sounds right.
No, it begins with an O.
Bill.
That sounds really right.
Mhm.
Because after that name, I start remembering his personality. He was kind of grumpy about the whole thing, and
He just wanted to learn.
yeah, he
Be a
wasn't
nerd.
very happy. He was like, "Just how can I help you? I want to get back to my stuff."
It's like I'm sick of running the government right now. My brother and my dad are all at war whilst I'm running an empire.
Just want to go draw blueprints.
All right, well, we're 2 for 2. Zep, our main man. It comes down to convincing you got to convince the Iron Duke.
Seems like that would be a.
Yeah.
I feel like the Iron Duke's like, "What do you need?" "Oh yeah, all right, I'm there, bud. I'm there. I got your back."
Kind of feels like he's got our back most times.
Unless Zep rolls a
Then-
1.
Yes, I will try to get the Iron Duke to join.
Sure.
Preferably when we're already talking about something of a mutual interest, namely artifice.
Okay. Okay.
It's like, oh, by the way, while we're working,
Conference.
So
while we're working on fixing this, we want to fix the world at this conference.
yeah, I would say whilst you've been in Gyrodoc here, like you joined a delivery of one of the fast ships to the capital, and you stopped off. So you've gone back and forth. I will allow you to swap persuasion for artifice if you're going down that route.
So this is going to be the highest potential roll we have.
However, there is a DC difference here of it's slightly higher because you're not.
Oh,
my
no!
God, Zep!
Flash of genius, 20 still.
Oh, Jesus, thank God, Zep's broken.
The Iron Group.
What did we do? What do we do to our gnome?
Don't know. I don't like it.
He's rusty. He's not had to roll dice in a couple of weeks.
No, but you guys are complaining. But the thing is, as well, that too just got turned into a 20. He just added 18 to that motherfucking thing.
Shush, shush, shush.
A higher modifier than. Wait. Hang on. That's a higher modifier than a dragon has to strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why it was so hilarious when I flash a genius to Oris.
Welcome to Artificers. They don't play by the same rules as everyone else.
Oh,
They
they
make
don't.
their own
Different
rules.
games, so they're playing
You were barely
Pathfinder.
born with the dice. I built them.
Yeah.
You were rolling the dice. I was molded by them.
I was molding them.
Molding them. Yeah.
His brain is polyhedral.
That's actually what's the crystal core in all Warforged. It's just a D20, just slowly turning.
Oh yeah.
You
Canon.
You've seen what the life crystal.
I know.
looks like.
Some of them have. Some of the party.
I think I think the internet went again. Give me a moment, friends. Discord being poopy. Discord's still being poopy. Discord's being poopy.
What's funny is you're
it's
still
back.
moving on the stream.
There's a
Oh, yeah,
full
yeah,
Discord
yeah,
drop.
It's
Jesus.
just Discord. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
I'm
stream I saw you get really annoyed.
yeah,
'cause,
I'm just sat here. Every time you guys go, I'm just going, Discord's being poopy. Discord's being poopy. No, you saw that the life crystal looked slightly like a D100 when you saw it. Okay. Yes, the Iron Duke will be sending a personal delegation.
Now Nardathal.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be you or
Yeah, it's me and Breton.
Yeah.
Are you going in person, or are you inviting over sending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have teleport
person.
there, right?
I teleport there now.
Where
Yeah.
are you? Who are you going to go talk to?
Probably to set the initial up, we'll use the Duke Abate.
The guy you killed.
No, I'm sorry. God, no.
Take
The
his
king,
job.
the king of Othray. No,
Yes.
the king of the king of Othray. Excuse me.
The king of Othray. Okay.
To set up
I
the.
was gonna recommend the Living Saint. Is also
We'll get to him.
Again, he can't leave. Oh yeah.
No,
he's on
I wasn't
the
saying. I
delegation
wasn't
there.
saying we invite him. I'm saying we've already invited the Chevalier, and they've agreed to come. So he would make a great bridge to somebody who could set us up with the High King. I imagine.
Both work. Breton pursues one route, we choose the other. We meet in the middle.
Okay. Then, Ruby, I will ask for a persuasion check from you towards the king of Othray. And you're going to roll a normal persuasion check twice, because the second one is him convincing the other kings and the High King.
Copy that. That is a 7 + 9 for my first roll.
Okay, that means the DC for you allowed to rolling the second time, so...
Okay.
He's a natural ally to you, his DC is lower.
All right, this is the second roll.
So-
That is a four.
Go ahead.
That is a 14 + 9.
Okay.
Excuse me. 23.
Okay. There will be a Nardathalian delegation. You are not given details of what that is directly from your end. Breton,
Okay.
Mhm.
you want to talk to the Living Saint.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really awkward conversation because it starts with an apology.
Okay.
Because this is going to be the first person Breton has ever met this individual, and the first thing he's going to do is kneel down on one knee and say, Your Majesty, I can only start this conversation with my utmost apology that your blessing into the situation of the Bastilian theocracy resolved the way that it did. Unfortunately, complications arose beyond our control, and circumstances turned against us. And I hope that it has not reflected poorly on you in any way.
But also, they suck.
Please, stand.
Stand up.
All will be forgiven if you can answer me but one thing. If you can answer me but one thing. What did you learn?
What did I learn? Often bureaucracy gets in the way of truly making things better. Sometimes it's not as simple as just working hard to get the resolution that you want. Sorry, that was sort of a big question. That was a very large ordeal.
No. I accept this answer. But the real answer I was looking for is that even in defeat, you find yourself here, still trying.
Breton will just smirk and say, "That was a lesson I learned long before that." And he'll just look. Imagine since Ruby's here, he'll just look at Ruby. This is the third time I've had to chase her down.
You can't see his emotion through the leper mask. But he then stands up. I will see what I can do.
I learned a lesson too.
Please roll a d20 religion check.
Religion check, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's a saint. He ain't going through a persuasion route.
sure. It's a little bit lower, but honestly, I'm still fine at religion. Come on, die, don't screw me. 17.
Okay. You also receive word that there will be an increased there will be increased presence from Nardathel, because what you get, and this is going to throw open to the rest of the party as well, what you get from Nardathel is, because they are technically 5 different nations, they want to bring 5 different delegations.
Oh god.
Oh, damn it.
It's a fustercluck.
And we can't just ask them to decide amongst themselves who they're going to send, because that's going to take
Nope.
longer than the damn summit would.
That is the concession they want from it.
Okay.
Once they would learn that, Brett
want
would actually...
one representative from each kingdom, basically.
From each kingdom, yeah.
Because the thing is, the High King is there to make sure that the kingdoms agree, but the High Kingdom does not represent the individual needs of every kingdom every time, is their problem.
So that's a message that goes out to both Zep and James. Good news! They're going to be there! Bad news! All of them are going to be there!
I was so victim of our own success.
They are going to be there.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, I guess we'll just hire a few more chefs to serve more food.
Yeah, Ruby just goes, I am going to be so busy. Oh my gosh.
And Breton will say, if the Eladrin are frustrated with this outcome, he would actually be the one to propose if they wish to bring additional delegation for their side. That would not be something totally unreasonable, considering the increased presence of Nardathel.
James's response to that would be, Eladrin the Immortal told us to bring whoever we could get to the table. It wasn't a fairness amount. It wasn't a keeping things even. So I don't believe that having all of them there to represent themselves and their own interests will be an issue.
When it comes to the kings of Nardathel, it's more like quantity over quality.
Duly noted. We are bringing them to the table, that's for certain.
Okay.
And I'll let Valymr know, and if Valymr wants to go talk to Selena again, or I'll go talk to Selena again, to see if they want to bring anybody else.
Yeah, Eladrin the Immortal is not bothered.
Okay.
My logic was he may use as an excuse to bring like additional negotiators from the Drow relations, because I don't know if that was considered a separate kingdom from the Eladrin Empire.
No, they're vassals of his. They're like, that's a march estate.
Sure.
Could reach out to some of the denizens of the Underdark, I suppose. see who arrives.
Yeah, we're not really reaching out to the citizens of the Underdark. They're down just thinking, man, like we are so underrepresented. Like we got a Durgar kingdom over here. Nobody's talking about us.
Yeah, you just like, well, their representation normally to the surface is the Elendor Empire. That's how they do things normally. He's like, we'll just make sure these. Sometimes an adventurer or two gets through the gaps, but for the most part, no one's invading down here, so you're good. We'll keep the poxy surface dwellers where they are. But okay. So you've reached out to everybody. Are there any? Is there?
Did we need to make a roll for Procopius and them?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't done Atria yet. Shit, sorry. Who would like to handle?
I'm not letting you forget that one, Midge. That one's important.
Yeah.
Atria and Benundum. We haven't done either.
Oh shit. Okay, who would like to handle Benundum? Who would you like to contact in Benundum? And who would you like to contact for Atria? And are you doing 2 roles for Atria? Are you getting a Procopius on board? And then I'm gonna say if you contact Procopius, he's there.
Sure.
As I'm like super into like Aureus right now, should I do the Atria thing? Might be.
I was gonna ask. I know said don't get him involved. Do you guys just want to contact Zedaar and let him handle the negotiations in Atria? It would be a local figure, and one who's been helping with negotiations in the Vastilian theocracy.
Is
so he's
Zedaar
been
going
talking.
to be there?
He's been talking to negotiators. That depends on whether or not they invite him.
Yes, Zedaar is invited.
No, I meant the negotiators invite him.
No, Zedaar is personally invited by Ruby. He is Skyfire still.
Okay. So yes, who would like to handle the Atrians? Who would like to handle the Benumdumnums?
That's the only one here that.
Benumdumoniums? What is the?
Bundamies. I'll roll for the Benumdums.
Well, no. Who are you directly contacting, or are you going for a? Like, what's the go here, guys? Are you going for a direct connection, or are you going for a general?
I would have said the direct connection, but the person who met the High Duchess was Darius.
Actually, James was there too.
Oh, James was there. Okay.
If you need Darius to help, you have connections to him. You directly have a free contact method with his brother, so you want him.
Yeah, when you contact Darius, you can just hear the audible sigh from the letter.
So if you want him to do it, you can. And like he's not doing.
I'm
anything.
asking you guys to use all of your connections here. I'm not.
Like we have really good ends in Benumdum. It makes sense for Darius is also really persuasive.
That's true. Let me get his character sheet up.
Let's just bring it. We're ending the season, guys. Let's just bring it all back together.
Honestly, I was going to suggest if you wanted Darius to be a part of the Reenian delegation, that's fine, because then you have somebody that could also roll persuasion
For food,
checks.
we should call catering services from Penatucci's.
That might get us blacklisted.
Wow. No, that's actually a really good idea to see if we can't talk. Well, before we move on from the Emperor, say that he should include the part of the Reynard company for this, because Darius would be an excellent choice to bring along. If not as a delegation, at least as a guard to just be in the room, because that would also make sense.
Yeah. Okay, I got his character sheet open. So who are we contacting? Sorry, I lost a bit of the conversation there for a minute.
This would be Benumdum.
Who are you contacting from Benumdum? Are you
trying to think because I have to go through. Well, no, I would know. Well, he got pretty close. Well, he's I'm trying to think of who he was really close to. There, we connect with. He didn't talk to the colonel. Well, he did talk to the colonel actually. Everyone's getting in there.
We have the Grand Duchess, we have the Colonel, we have several members of the Society.
Only one of them was a member of Benumdumonium Society. Actually, the others were from Retchin. The Minotaurs were from Retchin.
Yeah. Let's go with this. Let's go with the one from there, the society that is from there, because that's just an inn, and then we can move into the Duchess, or because I think the Duchess wouldn't necessarily take an immediate audience. I don't have that, Midge. I flushed my character knowledge, Darius.
Yeah.
Once I moved on to Kettle.
Friends, what was that individual's name?
Please.
Which one?
What was the question?
The Benumdum, the guy who was the head of like sociology at the university in Benumdum.
Yes, I'm looking
Yeah,
for
the
now.
2 Minotaur friends too.
Yep. Yes.
Looking for it now.
He was a professor.
I'm just gonna Control F, Professor.
Darius's memory. Hold on, let's see.
We have searched far and wide. Unfortunately, no results were found.
Let's talk to Pickett.
Professor
You wanted to pick-
Demosceles?
No, Demosceles is that's the Minotaur.
Talking to the Duchess.
Okay.
Flap.
We're just gonna go to the Duchess. We can't remember the name.
Zep's correct. It's
Flap.
Flapjack.
Flap. Right.
Flapjack.
Flapjack.
Flap. His name was Flap something.
I don't know
Gig
the
half of it,
surname.
man. You gotta help us
It's
out
flat.
here. It's
It was
been
flat
a year.
Appleseed. Appleseed.
Flap Appleseed, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Slap
Flap
Appleseed. Right. He
Because
was the
I
one.
got
Could we
really
call them
annoyed.
Appleseed.
Yeah, yeah, because it became Fappleseed, and that was the.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I understand why we
Darius is reaching out to them to then kind of have a connection that's more official to the actual Duchess without just like talking to the Duchess in her mind, like out of nowhere.
Okay.
If possible. No, he proposes. He goes forward. He's proposing. They come in the same kind of
Apple
I guess,
Shield.
Apple Shield. That's an
Apple
seed.
Shield. Okay.
Called Flap a different name every single time I refer to him. I've got Flap, Flapple,
good.
and then Apple Flap.
Yeah, but inviting.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
It really sticks with how the character was part of the campaign too.
Yeah. Darius is reaching out so that Benumdum can come in the same capacity as Atria, as a representative, but also as a neutral, independent,
As a higher level representative.
as a higher level representative that can help mediate the actual processes of discussion during this to also discuss generally what we're wanting to talk about, just
Can I throw
issues.
out a wild card? What about
Why not? We're throwing everything against the wall right now.
What about Greer?
No.
Wayer Fanon?
No, Greer.
No.
like, he was in.
No, Greer was the contact at the start of the campaign.
in
Actually, I don't.
Redbury.
Gourd
I
met
know.
him briefly when we went back.
One,
Don't believe so.
he's not
I
on the
don't-
best of terms with us.
James
once we
would
left
know
him
who
in.
that is because James lived in
Yeah.
Redbury.
Yeah.
Two,
That command is there.
he's the equivalent of Al Capone, and Al Capone did not go to
Redbury is
The
not
ghost.
an independent nation. Is my
Yeah.
problem
Awesome.
with that.
Okay.
There's no government capacity. No, Darius is reaching out, talking about come to the same capacity in the sense of Atria as a higher level third party neutral mediator for this conference of nations, but also as an opportunity to talk with other nations, to settle scores, to deal with a global threat, potential global issues. We'll actually word it like that, not of our own hand. So they are openly invited if they have the capacity to come in the same measures they can. If not, obviously there's a teleportation circle and everything like that. So whatever they would like to send.
I could think of that's everybody that is a nation. The one exception is those 5 islands off the coast of the Rien.
No.
I don't even know who owns them.
Like the only other
Um,
person we could potentially invite, other than just like inviting more to any other members of the group, is the guy who was on the Earth mode. Like let's just throw him an invite too to see if he can come back across the barrier and
You mean the
show
guy
up
who was
and
black bagged by?
Yes!
That
that guy.
Those 5 islands off of the Rien and Legrong's land is a nation state. It's the Sonja Isles.
Well, then they got a general invite because we didn't have
They
any
also got
connection
a
with them.
general fight.
Can somebody
Yeah.
roll me a d20 for them just quickly?
19.
Okay. They are sending a delegation.
So what do you want me to roll for Benumdum? Middle
Persuasion
of this.
check at advantage.
Okay. At advantage.
as you are using a named character as your point of contact that you have met
Right.
and you have an established rapport with.
All right. That is one of my expertise skills for Darius. The only one. Didn't matter. 16 though.
Are you going to expend a
I don't think I get one. I don't think persuasion is affected by any of my superiority.
Yes, it is. That was a
You made a point of doing this like all throughout the campaign. You forgot it so quickly.
It's only. Yeah. Well, I did say I took everything out once I started. I had to relearn fucking D&D for Kettle. Bonus.
It is called. I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Maneuver options here.
Commanding presence.
Oh, persuasion is one. It's limited. It's very limited charisma checks. I didn't think persuasion mattered, but yeah, why not? Because it's not like Darius is getting in a fight.
You sure about that?
So you think?
Well, I'm not
Until
controlling him.
Gabby
I
comes
guess.
out of nowhere.
No, we're on good
Little
terms.
no, as we're setting this up, his brother, God, I can't remember his main brothers now. That's how long it's been since he did this. It's just ready to Red Wedding him or Game of Thrones him. She's like, no, this is my time.
18 total.
Martin?
Okay. Cool. But will be sending a delegation and accept the mantle of being a mediator.
Okay. And is Darius also a part of the delegation from?
I'm guessing
the
because Darius still counts as Skyfire, so they have an extended Skyfire invite in the same way as Zedaar does.
Well, I was just thinking as a part of the.
He hasn't been asked by the Rien.
Hasn't been asked by the Rien.
Nope.
Darius will go as a part of as a representative of the Rien. As a part of them, he'll just be like shuffling in next to them.
So who's handling Atria?
If you want to do Zedaar,
Just go ahead.
fine.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
You sure?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I will try and leverage my shared love of his granddad to talk to Procopius.
Okay. And then are you asking Procopius to approach the Atrian government?
Yes. And also extending the invite to him as well. Just
He'll accept the invite no matter what.
Yeah.
So to get your second role for the Atrian government, you need to meet at least a 15.
okay. Persuasion check?
Yep.
No advantages or anything?
At advantage with Procopius.
Okay. Do I roll to talk to Procopius first, or
Yes.
like what? So I'm rolling just persuasion first.
Persuasion at advantage. And then if you get above a 15, you get to do another roll for the Atrian government, accepting the
Okay.
mantle as a mediator.
19
Okay.
for the first one, and then the second one, is that at advantage or not?
No.
No. Okay. 18.
Okay. They are sending a delegation outside of Procopius, and do accept the mantle as being a mediator.
Perfect.
So I think everybody, that's the guest list complete. Unless there's anyone else you want to invite.
I see a finger.
Yeah, the Council of the mysterious. You know what I'm talking about?
Wonder. Invisible
Them,
Wonder.
yes, the Council of Visible Wonder. We need to meet
Society of
them.
Invisible Wonder.
We need to meet them ahead of time.
You also need to visit the venue.
The what?
You also
The
should
island.
probably visit
Oh,
the
right, the
venue.
island.
Yeah.
Say, wait, we're going somewhere?
You should
Yeah,
probably
no.
visit the venue as a group as well and
Well,
start
can I get-
making
can we-
arrangements.
Then can I get the sequence from Undead Mommy?
I would
Necromommy?
she's not a
Necro
mom.
Mommy? Mommy, sorry.
She provides you all because she realizes that the delegations are going to need the sequence as well. She provides you with the sequence to the island. All of you get it eventually.
Well, I'm assuming that eventually Valymr and company can return to where Ruby is, or we everybody get to Zep, and then we can gather everybody up and then teleport out there.
That's up to you. How do you guys want to handle meeting for the island, etc.?
That's a good question.
Where exactly is it again?
It's not on the map. But
Okay.
I was in my head. I was thinking that myself,
middle of the
James, and
ocean.
Zaraj would probably be traveling with the Eladrin. But if we want to meet up before that, that's
so you don't want to do any work to set up this delegation as a group, then?
No. I'm just saying in my head. My head can be wrong. It frequently is.
Valymr's already declared his allegiance to the Eladrin. We're forgotten.
No,
Have you seen them, elf?
I would advise the
Booty.
group, considering there is 3 months now where you're going to have been doing all of this, that you should, as a group, probably meet up to discuss things and also possibly check the island and make arrangements. Just a thing. As your GM, please, for the love of God, before I teleport you there myself.
Okay. I would ask then. I would ask Selena. I would say that I should meet up after the parties and stuff, because obviously we're going to stay for the entirety of the winter ball. Of course, it's a whole thing. But we would talk to Selena and say that I should meet up with the rest, or we should meet up with the rest of our party, make the meeting place secure, and all that kind of jib. And can you teleport me? Is there any method that you could teleport me to place where we agree with the rest of the party to meet up?
Delphina's.
You could be meeting at Delphina's.
Then tell Venus then.
Well, as a sorcerer herself, she does have the pickable magic to get you there. Yes.
I know, but like, there's getting like a lowly court mage to be like, oh yeah, we'll teleport you, and then there's like royal magic. That I feel like there's a difference there.
At this point.
What's a spell slot between friends?
What's a spell slot between friends?
Spell slot.
There's something also, just as a note, I've got some ideas with spells. I read something recently, and I want to do something next season. As this starts to pick up, there'll be some. So I want to do some stuff with spell slots.
Cool.
Why?
I've got an idea. I had an idea. Did some.
Are you gonna let me go spell points?
No, I'm gonna do something called spell exhaustion.
Hey.
If you know what that is.
I have no idea.
So even if you're out of the spell slot, you can spend that many points of exhaustion equal to the spell's level to still cast it. But you take on the physical exhaustion to do.
Sure, that's ooh.
So it's like a Hail Mary. Just don't spend a 9th. Like
you can't.
Well, if you spend a 6th level spell, that's cool. You die.
There is,
I mean,
it's a bit more refined than that. That you can technically do all of them, and there is a way to like. You can roll. I can't remember. It's like a Constitution to half the effects of the exhaustion that you take, essentially. But it's a system that allows you to essentially go over your cap, if necessary. It's just because it makes sense, kind of thing. If you really, really wanted to exert yourself. Who knew?
It almost makes sense to be able to use do like an extra attack or something too, in that sense.
Possibly.
If you're all out of your resources as a melee.
I'm gonna look into it more, but I read some things recently. I was like, this makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah.
So we have how much time before the winter?
Once all of that delegation-y stuff is done, I would say it's now the end of the month that you're currently in.
Okay.
So you have now until... So you've got the whole of Snow's End and Mother's Dawn. And the conference is meant to start at the 1st of High Blossom. So 2 full months of 30 days. So 60 days. You're on a 60-day timer, friends. When you finally all meet up again for the first time, it is the 35th of Deep Frost, when you all meet at Delphina's chateau. If you have told Delphina that that's the day you want to visit, she will meet you there to give you a tour of the place.
Let's find out this was too small to do it to begin with.
It was described as a
Okay.
hotel, so
Yeah.
Just gotta
It's
give us the
hotel.
keys. Go over the room rules.
Okay. So the various groups of you teleport in. The teleportation circle is in a... You teleport into onto the end of a promenade / pier made of like blackened marble. Before you, in front of you directly, is this looks like that it can be used to receive ships, but at the end of it, there is like a ring that has a ringed section that has a teleportation circle. And in front of you is a large from the size of it, you're probably guessing like 20-bedroom villa complex. And like probably 10 foot away from the... I doubt you time it all at the same time, but essentially Delphina meets your groups and eventually you all gather in the sort of like the main ballroom. It's not it's too small to be a full ballroom, but it's bigger than a dining hall. It's like a mix of a lobby kind of dining room area. It's just a very, very large space. And there's a very dark aesthetic to this place. There's a lot of black.
Golly.
A lot of... It's quite gothic in design as well. But it's a large building. It's surrounded by... It's got... There's a garden, a small garden to the place. There's a beach area. There's a swimming pool, which is made around a natural hot spring. It has probably approximately 20 master bedrooms. It is staffed by a small, like, 10-person staff that Delphina keeps. All of them very gaunt looking. All of them seem very tired.
Well, I guess with being dead, there's just not much to life.
It's quite peaceful. In fact, you don't hear any, like, bird song or anything. It's just a very, very quiet island.
in Breton divine sense.
Sure. Absolutely, you can.
Because we've got gaunt figures. I'm guessing they're dead. We've got an island that doesn't seem to have any living figures on it. And Breton just has me concerned. Is this place desecrated?
Let me double check. Let me double check. God, what's the spell that talks about desecration?
Hallow.
I need to look at the definition.
So it's a question of how desecrated are we talking?
No,
here?
it's not. It's not desecrated in terms of the spell Hallow. But
Okay.
there's a little vibes of undead. In fact, actually, though, like you talk to you like curious about the butler who looks the most undead. You know, he's a completely living person who's just really fucking like Pale.
I think they call this
it's
cosplay.
It's just Delphina that is actually undead.
So, are you dead? No, I just like this vibe.
We'll just
Listen, I was just saying, like, we needed to fact check that we weren't sending your people to like this undead paradise, and it's just like, you know what? We might have other problems having the summit here. We didn't think about a location B, did we? We probably should have considered a location B.
Nope, there's just no location B. We've already sent the invites out. This is too late.
I guess we now need to purify this place.
Yep, we just gotta cover it up.
Put a bow on everything.
Russia at the Olympics, just cover everything with a facade.
Get some paint. It'll look better.
You smile. You smile.
Get interior decorators in here.
But also, this is the first time you guys have all been together in a month. Welcome back, party group.
Was I even invited with Zep as not a member of the party, but on the ship?
Nope.
There's a teleportation circle, so she just stuck on the ship.
So we just kicked Kay out of the campaign just like that.
Now
Oh
she's
my!
just still on the ship. Zep just teleported away, and now she's alone.
Zep and Brawl.
I
Ruben
mean,
doesn't
that
even
is-
know about your character existing.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We met.
You met her. You're one of
You're a common crew member as far as she knows.
Oof.
It's up to Zep. Because she can't force a teleportation circle. That's her one
This
way she can't
is
see
how
God.
this party treats new party members, by the way. Every fucking new party member gets the "you're not really a part of the Skyfire" treatment.
The worst part is she hasn't even met half the goddamn party. Half of them don't know of her existence, and the part that do know, half of them don't even care.
Okay, let's approach this. How would you persuade Zep that you need to go?
Does she? Like you. Second.
Is this where we get to the catch-22, Roach, where you realize Kaylee wouldn't want to go because she would rather be on the ship anyways?
No, Kay's interested in what's going on. Totally.
Okay.
It's just I'm debating. I'm trying to work it out.
Because you would have had like
couple of weeks,
at least 15 days to wiggle.
Yeah, to do something. Well, we did talk about at some point, didn't we, Zep, that she did gain a function on. Now that would just tie her down to the ship.
Did you? Hold on.
How badly does Zep need a valet for this?
Did you tell everyone?
No. Remember, you said that you were going to be his personal scribe now that Pascal's not around, and he might need note
taker. Yeah.
As a note taker, but also we did work out that she was functioning. She was doing a function on the ship to help with communication.
Yeah, you're the
Ship's in dry dock.
And
no,
that's right. You were the radio operator. You're the dispatcher.
That's why I'm hesitant to make that an actual thing now, because that would just make Zep go like, no, you have to stay on the ship. That's like
Wait. Wait, have you been the one with the sending stone, and Zep? You've just been mimicking Zep?
No, she just.
No, that's something Zep would do.
That would be something. No, she has the ability of just like communicating freely multiple times a day with like up to like an unlimited number of people. Some stupidly high number of people just like in their brains for upwards of potentially 12 hours.
She's basically a radio operator.
Yeah, so she kind of broached that subject, but yeah, no, I am technically his scribe.
She's a Discord call.
Yeah.
Is she as spotty as this one?
No, she's better.
So I think she would be just like, if you need a note taker or something like that, like she would offer. You are going to like a major event that would probably require notes. You also know she's snuck around a lot and been moderately good at it.
I mean, if she's got telepathic like radio powers, and we are a security force that's maintaining security in this place, like being able to communicate with each other wherever we are is a really fucking important thing to have.
Up to a mile.
Did Zep tell us that Kettle was a thing on the ship?
Thing.
Don't think so. Like, Zep hasn't really talked with you that much. I mean, we've used the sending stones, but that's very limited. I don't think he would just say, "Oh, by the way, we picked up this random bird on the way."
Yeah.
Which
Sorry.
from an Englishman is a very different sentence as well.
It is, which is why I kind of hesitated, but it's also factually correct.
Oh, it's so nice of you to find a girlfriend. Oh, wait, what's this?
Yeah.
This is
I
making
just
me
picked up
regret
some
coming
random
on
bird.
board to this party with Zep instead of going to the Eladrin party. But yeah, no, I guess if you need a note taker and you've seen her skills, some of her skills, I'm giving you the option, but Roach is telling you to take her.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Brian will specifically request Kaylee.
There you go.
I want to
I think your
point out so hard the fact that you don't know her so much. You know her so little. Kaylee is not her name in any sense of the word.
Call her that. Call her Kettle.
Sorry, that's my brain keeping it so because we call her Kay, but my mind wants to say Kaylee, but it's not Kaylee, it's Kettle.
I love that. I want it to be
perfect.
in character. It's like no fucking Kaylee.
Roach, for the sake of me, roll an advantage.
No.
My table, my rules. You're rolling this an advantage, please. With how
Persuasion?
you've been rolling, please roll this
Am
an
I
advantage.
actually rolling
Yes.
persuasion to participate in the All right.
Persuasion to participate in the campaign.
No free
Jesus.
rides. No free rides.
Like, oh, how quickly we just replaced you straight back to Darius.
Hey, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, it's been a blast for these 3 seasons. I'm gonna go. Thank you.
Zep acquiesces to your request, but seems a bit annoyed by it.
So
Me
for
and
the
James
people at
are like,
home, people at home, that was a 2 and a 5.
You know, screw it. Darius is uninvited. It's only Kay. Kay's the only one who's allowed to come.
Darius' sister turns up.
Oh boy.
No, especially if the point is made about the security things, then absolutely.
Okay.
Having the distant
Roach, you can come
distance
back from the
ability is
bit
good.
now.
The incredibly useful character.
I had to go take a walk.
Yes, absolutely. Zep may seem a little annoyed by it, but sees the wisdom of it.
Okay. I'm not even going to try and find out how you all got there outside of being magicked there by NPCs that you've met in this shenanigans of a month. But you're all at this island now.
Yay!
That's a round of applause for me.
In fact, we probably just flew. If it's a month. Because we'd want to be there with
we
the
were in dry dock. We can get Anton to do it.
Yeah, you're in dried up getting upgrades.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll meet us there.
Yeah,
You're still 2 months clear of the event, so like,
Yeah.
this is your first visit, and you'll bring the ship
Gotcha.
later.
Okay, I understand.
Anton could have
I'm
just
coming
done
board
the
the
thing.
board Delphina's as well for this event.
And this is my scribe, Kettle.
It's party talk.
Hello.
We have met. And Breton will not admit that he was referring to her as Kaylee and not Kettle.
Just happy to be included.
My name is James Willoughby.
I've heard nothing about you. Nobody's told me
I've heard
anything.
nothing about you, so the pleasure is all mine.
Talk about us.
Probably, but not to Kettle.
I've been included purely for my utility.
Well, what is it
No.
that you bring to the table?
Zep would have mentioned the others to you, and probably who they are.
This is not a character. Hi, I've heard about you. And again, there's no movement. Again, the funny way she speaks.
Anything good, bad?
No. That's all she got was, oh yeah, and we work with a person called James. So it's just
Work with a great scientist called James. He gave me
Good.
these designs. I'm working on
Good.
them now.
yeah.
We
it's
also work
good.
with a tabaxi who is cats and
Here.
birds. Is there any kind of...
I don't know. This is
We'll
the
have
first
to
time we've
ask
interacted.
Ghibli when she's here.
Yep.
Ghibli's not real.
an AI that may just it's glitching right now. And
That's the only way I can explain all the stories that she has told us. It's just something an AI has made up.
And you haven't even heard half of them as well. Like,
yeah, you should watch her streams. They are crazy.
Just as a note, just like anyone, both of the audience, like our good friend Ghibli Jam, who is not with us today, who is a great content creator in her own, and who we love.
She's still alive. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, Ghibli lore is a thing. Like
it's
bigger than Star Trek like lore. It's
magic.
Some of the stuff.
Wait, no, that's her husband.
She participated in a trial of witchcraft this year.
Technically, her husband was tried for witchcraft this year.
Yeah,
or
that's
to
real.
Husband.
We're not
partner.
Partner. Yep. We're not lying. That is true. That is the most factual statement we've said. Yeah. No. Kettles.
America.
Yeah. Yeah. We will hold off on the introductions between those two, between the cat and the bird. But yeah, no, Kettle's just there in her normal dress, and she looks.
I don't see your mouth moving. How is it that you're speaking?
Just.
I'm sorry, your beak.
That wasn't all right. And she just lifts like the feathers covering it. You just see again the box.
It is a very cool device actually that can manipulate mental waves into vocalizations and vice versa.
Did you work on this, Master Skyper?
No, Kettle managed to track me down as the device was broken. I managed to fix it, but I am not its architect.
Ah, that's quite interesting.
Well, and as for why I'm here, I can do this. Just hold on a second. Her first use of the day is free on all of her dice. I just need to roll. So for the next hour, everybody that's in the vicinity can she'll just be able to freely communicate with up to a mile away, and she just hi, and you just hear it's no audible anymore, just in your brain.
But I like
Isn't that like the normal way that we hear you, though? Or is it actually?
It comes from the box normally.
The box actually emits sound. It is a box that emits sound. It just conveys her thoughts into sounds. This time, nothing moves on her. Nothing emits from her. You just hear it in your brains, like a sending spell.
Are you in here?
And that is why she is useful.
Yep.
You're receiving a collect call from K.
I'm gonna. Valymr, can you hear me? I'm just gonna think it in my head.
Do I hear anything?
Nope. Okay, it's a it's a two-way, but it doesn't connect cross. There's no.
It has to go through the center switchboard.
Yeah, there's a switchboard going on. It just doesn't work like that.
It has to go through the dispatcher.
Kettle, tell Valymr I said hello.
I just did. She did.
You get a message saying that James said hello.
Say hi back.
No. She didn't pass the message along, was the joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. Right. No, yeah, just do that. And this is.
I'm glad Breton's not aware of this hijinks going on back and forth, and he's like just trusting. He's like, oh, okay, we can communicate. That's very good to know.
Yep. I'm just here for that. Also, just to take notes.
Are you a scribe?
Sure. You believe that? That's an actual 20. For reference, that is a 25.
Oh, did you work at a temple, a library, a research place?
I grew up in a bookstore.
That works.
What kind of bookstore?
Jesus.
The kind that had books.
I just closed out her lore doc so I could open up Darius's because we needed some of his stuff, and now I have to go back to the fucking other.
Welcome to my hell.
You're all doing this to me.
It's all right. Wait, no one will constantly bring up your old character to get them back in.
Don't mind me
Yeah,
while I'm
man.
making a guest list about 50 people strong of
Yeah,
various
Mage is just eating this up. It's good.
No, yeah, please
For
keep
those
talking.
keeping track at home, it was a whopping 5 episodes before we brought back a character that had been written out of the campaign.
Yeah, no, she just says it's a bookshop called If Books Could Kill.
That's very interesting.
It's a pun.
Proof of that name, and I am stealing it for my campaign. Thank you.
Whereabouts? What town, nation, state?
Oh, actually, I know that off the top of my head, but I think shit, I need the map. I know where
We
it
found
is, I
you
just
in
forgot.
Modwin, but I don't know where that was in Modwin.
No, she's traveled quite a bit. She's traveled quite a bit. I just need to get the map up because I forget the actual names. If Books Could Kill, yeah. I have a lot of like for the area she lived in, like the local like cafe was called the Brouhaha. You know, it's fine. Compound.
Mhm.
Yeah, Compound Merchant District.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's surprising that the rest of these people didn't see you on their first time through here. Through there.
Compound is a rather large town.
Compound is the capital of
It's
the
like-
entire
Well,
Indian.
It's not the
Or it's
capital.
it is the largest city in the entire. Yeah.
Ruby, I honestly thought that you were like person getting a tour on the ship. I didn't realize you were part of the crew. I'm sorry.
I didn't either until now. Well, until recently,
Well,
I think.
welcome.
Yeah. And does it just make me a part of the group now, or am I a?
It might be. It might be. I don't know if it should.
Breton visibly sighs at that concept.
Also, I do find it quite funny that it's James of all people that starts talking about like answering this. The one who's been with us the least
Well, I said
time.
The shortest, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Sure,
shouldn't
so-
be needed.
I do like immediately when she was like, "So my part, do I get benefits and everything?" People just go, "Oh, let's put some brakes on that." Until we
Yeah, the next time we get a split of money, we're just gonna. Yeah.
Oh, I need to talk to my manager first. and we just-
Intern.
You would get. Brett would just tell you in your mind, let me put it this way. Do you want to stick around?
Yes, as long as it keeps me away from Compound for at least 4 to 6 months.
Well, keep trying. We'll see what we can do. Or at least I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so you're like the leader.
Brett would just kind of like scrub his eyes. With as much as he's trying to advise his party, nobody would let this guy lead them if he had a gun to their head.
No, groups don't need leaders.
No, they don't, and that's my personal view as a player. He'll just say it's not a situation where there's really a leader. It's just
It's an open like council of rulership or everything. Because
everybody throws their ideas at the wall, and we see what sticks.
I've just been following the orders of Professor Skyspan.
Professor?
Scott.
This is
Oh,
in
wait,
his
this is in your
head because
Okay, no.
this is in his head.
I mean, like, Brett's like Professor. I mean,
That's how he introduced himself.
would he didn't introduce himself as a professor to me. I must not be.
Maybe it's because I was inherently lesser. So
I don't. Brett just suddenly feels really bad. You know what? Why not? I'm gonna go. I think I might need to go talk to Zep.
just to be, I'm gonna go.
No. It's like, listen, Cuddle. Work hard at this.
Alright.
Prove you have a good place to stick around. If you help this go off without a hitch, you're gonna show you're useful. And that's important to sticking around.
I'm trying my best. Do you need? All right, yeah, we'll talk about this. Do you need like, a drink? I know how to make tea. What's your order?
Less needy.
Okay, all right.
Offended Ruby noises.
You know, actually, go ask Ruby if she needs help in the kitchen.
Right. Okay.
She's the redhead.
Obvious. Okay. She just goes. And she just just nods
Was
her
Ruby
head.
in the kitchen, or were you not all in a group?
Yeah.
I thought we were all in a group.
I imagine like after this original meeting, we'd split out to explore the compound because
No.
we have to split up on you again, Midge. Because why wouldn't we?
We're
But at least we're in the same location for once.
No, clearly what we're doing is we're just staring at Kettle and Breton, just staring at each other. So we're like,
Oh, she doesn't need
there's
to
a conversation
acknowledge.
going on here.
Brett has not been just sitting in the room. Brett, like once he realized how this works, Brett has been patrolling around like the room, just securing this place for like how security works.
Yeah. So while that whole conversation's going, she's just talking with you like normally because she can multitask.
What
She's lived
happened?
with this power.
So you can hear all 6 of us at once if we decided to like all just be like, Kettle,
Anyone who
Kettle, hey,
is,
Kettle.
yeah, anyone who is in that room, it's within line of sight. Up to, she does have a limit. It's not like free. Well, the first one is free, but there is a limitation on it. It is notes, abilities. There we go.
It's double your proficiency bonus you have the dice for.
Right, double proficiency bonus, which
So
I
that's-
can have 8.
A potential of 8d10 hours.
No. 8 people and then 1d10 amount of hours. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
up to
but
8
each
people,
use of it is another d10.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that I already used it. I got 1 hour out of my D10.
Yeah.
But at the free, I basically my first psychic die I use a day, I just get back automatically. So basically it's a free use of it. So we just have an hour to talk. So everybody who is in that room, which is everybody in the party, yeah, she can just talk to and intercede, and just like freely. But yeah, she probably just didn't know where to go, and she's just like, yeah, James seemed the nicest. So she's just like talking with James. Seemed one to be the most.
Do you have any experience with medical or scribing from researchers or anything such as that? Because I could use your help there.
I did a lot. I have research. I did that a little bit. I touched on that a bit.
Are you squeamish? How well do you handle corpses and such? Blood, needles, do those things bother you?
No, I think I'm good.
Do you have any fears?
Compound.
Breton just messaged me. No, maybe.
And head, it's totally okay. Do what you need to do. That'll be the radio connection.
No, I don't think what do you mean?
So if we
James just hears a click on his end and it goes quiet.
if we end up facing a dragon, is that like an absolutely not
Is that
no go?
a common thing your group goes
It's
through?
unfortunately semi-regular.
Yeah,
I would have about 6 gold for every dragon that I've encountered, which isn't a lot, but in context of dragons.
Professor Skyspan really downplayed your party's escapades.
I'm going to point out like the scratches on the deck from when a dragon landed on the
You're
ship.
not
No,
the
they've
ship.
gone. They've been
The
gone.
ship's not here.
Ship's
The
not
ship's
there.
still.
Ship's not even here. We
Oh.
teleported in.
Right, of course.
We afforded. How do you think all of that skyship and everything was afforded?
Well, Professor Skyspan did make an obscene amount of money in basic trade when we got back to Legren's land. So I assumed
Where's
the
my cut
majority
of
of it. I assumed a majority of it was from that. But I suppose that's...
Was one thing Brett and Ruby actually didn't mention. And I guess Zep didn't mention either.
Nobody's told her. Literally, Kettle needed to get the fuck away from where she was for legal reasons. Got a position on this ship and was told nothing for a month and a half, and she is just like, because Zep didn't tell her shit. So
Pretty much.
Busy, goddammit.
Petal has
Part
gone
of the
from-
ship, part of the crew.
Petal has gone from into the frying pan into the fire.
Like the most contact she's had with officialness was the fact that the crew kind of took her in a bit, and she's been learning a bit about the ship. And that's it. And Zep gave her a few lessons on how things worked, and then
if you made it known to ingratiate yourself with the crew, the Minotaur that kind of is the de facto union head of the crew.
What's his name, Midge?
Yeah, Mitch.
I have that.
So do I.
Yeah.
Faustin?
Festin.
It's Falston. Yes, it's Falston. I actually remembered him off the top of my head. So I'm like, let's see if Midge remembers him off the top of his head.
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
She did talk to most of the crew. She wanted to find a way to not have to.
Then they
dropped
definitely
off
would
of
have
technical-
they definitely would have told you the sort of shit they get involved with.
Yeah,
Okay. It was boasting,
Sailors
I
talk.
think, is what she
Sailors talk.
Yeah.
Sailors
Sailors talk.
talk.
Yeah.
Kezo, let me take you under my wing and tell you what we've gotten into since I've been part of the group. As we
She
go
just
and
gives
get
you like a
tea.
disapproving, like, really.
And
Really?
we could walk and talk as we go to the kitchens if you'd like, to get a cup of tea,
Okay.
so that we
Right.
can tell stories of what we've gotten into, so you know the type of people you're with.
So, like, they were real.
Oh, the dragons? Yes, very much so.
Okay, I thought that was all boast.
Nope.
When people play cards, they make stories up.
I mean, they may have been boasting about their involvement in defending the ship, but they happened.
So they didn't kill 100 mercenaries that tried taking over the ship a couple of months back.
No. They
But they deserve it.
They actually had to be rallied. They were quite scared for a little bit there.
Oh,
they all got locked in a room with a guard on it.
As an aside, Kettle is proficient with the card deck, and is very good about basically anything in subterfuge. She's been card sharking the shit out of the crew for the past month, trying to make some money that she has none of. Did she get anything out of that, or is it a break-even kind of situation?
Roll me a games check.
Games check.
As in-
It's just a D20 plus proficiency modifier.
It's probably the same as sleight of hand.
I mean, I'll roll sleight of hand.
It's your proficiency bonus with Dex or whatever you're using to play the cards with.
Oh, sleight of hand, definitely. Oh, she's totally not above cheating. Okay. She's not Darius.
Perception check for every single member of the crew.
So she got a 21.
You probably made 30 gold.
Cool. That's 30 more than she had. Well, 30 more than her flat. She did not have a lot of money. No, she's just been playing cards. They told stories. I'm glad to know some things are real and some things aren't. I'm glad to be a part of this, possibly.
And the fact that you're here, it's got to mean something.
I was told I was needed. I was told it was needed for notes and messaging.
Does this
It'll
mean Roach is going to have to start taking more notes?
I'll die before I do that.
To do the weekly recaps.
I imagine.
See,
there'll be
I
some-
remember everything but names. That is my one weakness in my memory.
I imagine there'll be some of that, but there might be more.
Worse as you get older.
Quite a lot more, actually.
Okay. I can take care of myself.
What are your feelings towards Bahamut?
Who are they?
It's okay. Give Zedaar 5 minutes.
Valymr will pull out the. Didn't Zedaar give him a book of his? I asked Zedaar for a book of his little. All of the. Whenever he was doing something in combat, he'd read out a chant from the book. I'm pretty sure.
A prayer.
Zedaar didn't have a
about
book,
that.
so he wouldn't have had one to give you, because Zedaar had it all in memory.
I think you did get one though somewhere. I do have another.
You could have bought one in Atria.
I think you got
Yeah,
one of
there's-
that.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you got
I'll
it.
have pulled out my spare book of Bahamut and give that over.
Valymr, why don't we wait for that for now? Kettle, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you were up to before you met up with Zep?
I was traveling away from compound.
That's
I mean, I know
very
Compound's a pretty
specific
crappy city,
and
but
not dodgy at all.
It's, I was an independent contractor, and a contract went wrong, and I decided to travel afterwards. And I heard about Professor Skyspan from some idle chatter by the merchant that was trading in the city, and I assumed you could help with my Vox box.
Well, he is a very
Without
intelligent
it, I
individual.
am much less useful.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Could use all the people we can get.
Just your
Trustworthy.
thank you in your brain. It's a pleasure to meet you, and you has not introduced yourself to her name-wise. She has no face to name knowledge.
do you say that out loud? Or...
Well, she just goes like, and it's a pleasure to meet you,
Oh,
James,
Valymr.
and Valymr. That's great. And I met the other two. In passing, I don't. Well, Breton now knows. I don't know if Ruby cared.
I'd say best things with Ruby are listen to her in her kitchen, and if you're going to try and help, stay out of the way. I would say she does mighty fine on her own, but
Look, we get some temp HP from Ruby's cooking. Don't need to fuck that up for us.
Translate that into an in-universe
Yeah,
example.
sure.
And,
Ruby's
and
cooking is
understand.
really good.
It's good
she
to
makes
know.
you feel heartier.
Yeah.
Good to
Refreshing.
know. I have no preferences when it comes to food, so I will enjoy it. I will enjoy seeing what it's like.
And you have never had any interactions with Tabaxi before, correct?
I mean, there were some in my neighborhood. I knew.
Any issues? Were they particularly attracted to playing with you? Bullying?
In your brain, not aloud, just goes context. I don't know if James realized she is barely like like I think she's like 18.
That's why I clarified by saying bullying.
Bullying. Oh, no, that wasn't my thing.
So they didn't chase you around or anything like that.
I
Like a
don't-
typical
If I
cat.
don't want to be, nobody's gonna.
You walk
Good.
into Ruby.
Well, then I
you
don't
walk
think
in-
that we'll have a problem.
What was that?
You walk into Ruby's kitchen, the first thing you hear is delayed blast fireball, and she's holding up a drink. What?
All right, yeah.
It's bourbon, red pepper flakes, cinnamon sticks, brown sugar, hot water.
You are just
take
carrying
that.
this around with you?
Sure. Would you like one?
Is it called a delayed
Yes.
blast fireball because it's good when it goes down, but that heartburn is going to get you later?
Fun going in, not so fun going out.
Yeah,
No.
No, if it's she'll take it. If it's alcoholic, she'll just like, yeah.
By all means. It's new concoction. Careful, it's probably a little spicy.
And suddenly I'm trying to remember, are birds one of the creatures that can't taste spice?
Yeah, no, that's
Yep.
exactly
Yes.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, you can put cayenne pepper all over.
Sorry, I'm sorry if I just ruined the bit there, but I was like, I can't remember.
Oh, no,
I can't remember.
That was the bit. Yeah, she doesn't taste spice, and also she has no lips, so that's just gonna be like.
Into a straw.
No, you don't do the
really
little big thing
weird-
where you just kind of.
Oh.
Do you want me to cast fly on you?
Is that a?
Is
that
this?
like a-
Are we learning now that Ruby just knew a lot about Kinku? It is now just like sharing sharing the way of
Tap into
fancy.
that lore page.
No, we rolled lore checks earlier. We
Yeah.
did that when we first met Kettle.
Yeah, she was aware of Kenku in general sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to go
Is
flying
this-
for a while?
Is this like a? What like a? Do you need? I guess I have money now.
No.
Kind of.
No. Not doing anything today, and I doubt I'll need the spell slot.
Tonight, after I'm no longer needed for messaging, technically, I don't want to, on duty.
So you're okay with drinking on duty, but not flying on duty?
You're not my mother.
I'm just asking for clarification.
They don't have clean water everywhere. You need to drink. Drinking is normal. That's.
She was raised poor. She probably drank ale when she was like 5.
It's more reliable than getting clean water.
Yeah.
Anyway, tonight's dinner is shoot.
Food?
Twice baked cockatrice wings.
Oh.
You're feeding the bird.
I'm delicious.
Okay.
Taste the fruits of your people.
Although I'm
This
pretty
is-
sure
this is going
chickens
amazing.
are cannibalistic. I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh, definitely. I've seen them. I've seen them.
I am delicious.
I've seen not only cannibalistic. I've seen them like fucking rip apart a pigeon. Like that's been unfortunate. I was on a farm. I was raised on a farm.
I have seen a pelican eat a seagull.
Yeah, birds are fucking brutal. They're dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gotta love them.
All that rage is still there. They're just like compact.
They're magpie specifically.
So,
Uh,
what would you?
yeah.
Okay, continue. Okay.
I was assuming you were still doing long form.
Oh, I am,
division
but
of
I've
maths.
also,
We
no,
were
I've done
just
the maths ages ago.
we
I'm
were just
currently-
role playing out this entire
exactly.
situation.
Is there anything you guys would like to do specifically at the location?
Clean it.
Do we have staff for that?
It isn't. Because if it's like a vacation home, it's probably like there's cloths over furniture, and you do dusting,
Hello.
get it tidied up, get decorations up, set up an actual conference table so that we can all be seated equally, I guess you could say. That'd be a fair point
So
to
a
make.
table big enough, or do we want to have multiple small tables that are just kind of in a
Well,
like a line or something?
I have a corgi. Bless you.
Yeah, see that?
Phew, you stink. You smell like poo.
Breton
My dog,
would be
sorry.
doing his,
Yeah,
Breton
we
would be
get-
doing his best security detail.
Okay, so you're gonna. So Brenton, you're gonna scout the place out, look for possible
Scouting. He also, if Delphine is here, he would also just ask her, assuming she's willing to, for close, like any secret entrances or exits, anything that might be used to get in and out, just to make sure that we are aware of them, so we don't have people just slipping in through a back door we didn't know about. It's like surprise, problem.
Ruby is on hospitality services, making sure everything is clean, set up, established, and everybody has access to food and drink.
I'd probably run hosting duties, I guess. So, you know,
The undead butler? Really?
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
are
he
you
fits in with the staff.
Okay.
That just threw me back to a campaign where I did, in fact, do a lurch voice for a character. It was a butler.
You rang.
There
Oh,
were
it
other
was a joke
things
in a
that character
panto.
said.
I played a character that was like that, but his name was Utang. So it was Utang. You rang, and if you flipped it around, it became a rangatang. Was the joke?
Oh God.
It's such a it was, yeah, but that was anyway. That's just taking me back there. Okay, Breton, leave me a survival check.
Survival check.
As you scout the island and look for issues.
I don't suppose me asking Delphina for any help in this, considering her knowledge of the place, would provide any advantage.
This is more for your tactical insight on top of what she gives you.
Okay. 15.
Okay. Well, there aren't any secret entrances or exits. I will let you insight that.
Okay, I'll insight that as well. That was a 6.
You don't think there are any secret entrances or exits.
Okay.
But what you notice in your tactical assessment is that from the house, there is a portion of the island that you can't see the sea from. Because there is a big enough, wood?
Landmass. Well, wood.
As in, of trees. There's enough...
a grove.
There's a grove enough of trees that kind of masks the northwestern half of the island, so that if you were in the house, because it's only maximum 3 stories, you don't see, the sea from it. But everywhere else, you can see the ocean. The garden buffs right up to it. So, tactically, that would be the area that might cause issue.
That is something he'll pass along to Zep, being the resident expert of naval-based warfare in the party, for him to delineate amongst the others.
If the Skyfire is here, we will have an eye in the sky.
Yeah.
Just pointing it out that from the house, that is the one blind spot towards the water.
But, the house takes up the entire island. It's not like there's a house and villages and stuff. It is small enough that it's just, 100 years, this house is gone because the water's going to have claimed it kind of thing, probably.
Midge, did we clarify how long it's going to take to get this teleportation circle for the Skyfire established? Or has that been done over the last 4 months?
It has not one. It's only been 15 days thus far.
I'm sorry, I thought it was several months when we were getting all this.
With doing the math in the 4 wizards, from the day that we said we were going to do that, assuming that you haven't moved forward with the 13th, it would be a week and a half after we started the delegations.
Yes.
That it would be finished.
Yeah, it will be... I think it will be finished about the 25th of High Blossom. Currently, with the money that's been spent.
Okay, just checking.
If we got one more wizard, we could probably get it so it's done faster.
Yes, that's true. But
Ruby could contribute.
We have the money in the coffers. I just didn't want to spend too much if we didn't need to.
Darius is coming. Could get Anton to do it for a little bit.
No. Not because... No, because you're asking Anton to ward this place.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
He
true.
cannot do that and that.
No, Ruby can contribute her spell slot for every day except the ones of the delegation.
Oh, I see what you mean.
No, but it's not just that. You have to buy enough chalk for each day.
I did.
You do not have... You do not have 60 pieces of chalk.
I bought a shit ton at the place. That's the whole point of it. I spent 500 gold for it.
Yes, that's 10 pieces.
Ow.
Yes, it has to be cast every single day. That is part of the cost.
Oh, that was 10 uses each. Okay.
No, it's each time. It's 50 gold per time you do teleport circle.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why so you can. It will just be a cost.
Again, we have money in the coffers. We can afford this if we want to.
Very well.
You need
spend the money.
Yeah, just do it, and then we've got it. We don't have to worry about it.
So do you want it done in time for the thing?
Yes.
I will work out an additional cost at a different time. Because it's taking into account half months at this point. Also, my calendar isn't 365 days. My calendar is 400 days, I think. Okay. So you have the eye in the sky. In terms of you think this like main hall area will be where you can host the delegations. You can source enough tables that each delegation can have like an area should you want to. Kind of thing. I'm not sure there's much else unless you guys can think of anything you want to do to prep. You've now got 60 days before this happens. But we can do this off camera because we've got 5 minutes to the end now. So I feel like it's best that we just make any other organization things in the coming 2 weeks. Because, as well, just as a reminder, not here next week. This is our last little broadcast for a little while. And we will be back. I think it'll be December when we're back now.
Maybe.
That will be the week after Thanksgiving.
The 27th.
It'd be the...
It'll be
Still be November.
Just about
Yeah,
November. Just about November.
Ah, so yes, 27th. Okay.
27.
It's the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So, yeah. Everybody in America have a lovely Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And if not, guys, all I've got left to do today is to thank those who have been here. So thank you to DM Lake, to Lord Lambert, to Commissar Roach, to Ghibli Jam, who's normally here, to Mordred Viking, to Kinda Odder, and to Bethany Rose. I've been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast, and we'll be back on Wednesday, hopefully, with more Cyberpunk. Oh, no, tomorrow with Lancer.
Oh.
Yes.
Are we doing Lancer tomorrow?
I'm not 100% because
Rival's not going to be there.
It's just Rival, so it's up to you. Do you want to run it tomorrow without Rival or not?
We'll talk.
Okay, so possibly tomorrow for Lancer. If not, definitely possibly for Cyberpunk on Wednesday.
We should be on for Cyberpunk. We've had no word of cancellation.
Cool. And also, whilst we won't have Lancer and Elendor next week, we will hopefully still have Cyberpunk to do catch us around.
22nd, we will not. No,
okay.
22nd.
No broadcast at all next week.
It's a holiday weekend. This is what happens when we contract friends for things.
Yeah.
Well,
this is what happens around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Lancer specifically.
Yeah, Lancer's because I've hired someone in the group to come with me. But yes, we will see you guys soon. Make sure you're on our Discord. This is another reason. Please make sure you're on our Discord and on our social medias if you want to be in tune with when we're live or not. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Night.
Right.